Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You're listening to the What It Do podcast. Cool. Welcome back to another episode. No more fucking smelling salts.
Minus the smelling salts?
I mean,
minus smelling salts. Fuck that.
I already got a whiff.
Fuck that bullshit.
Man, I didn't realize how drunk I was. And so I'm sorry to everybody, including our listeners, because Jesus Christ. I think the smelling salts made me, like, in the moment, feel like I wasn't that drunk.
Dude, the next fucking morning, I was so dizzy.
Yeah.
Like, I guess my right ear was kind of numb, you know?
Uh-huh.
And I thought I was getting an ear infection. Have you ever had vertigo?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Get that a little closer.
Oh, the microphone.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Bring it down.
Can you hear me? 1, 2. Checking 1, 2.
More.
There you go.
Yeah, actually, right there is good.
Yeah. It felt just like that. I'm like, shit, dude. I got to go to the fucking clinic and get antibiotics because I'm not going to do another week of fucking having vertigo. It was that bad.
Damn.
Well, it turns out I went to work anyways. I was like, fuck it, maybe it'll go away. About later that afternoon, about 4 or 5 o'clock, it started to go away.
Yeah.
And the only thing we changed was that fucking smelling salt.
Smelling salts.
But then again, we were sitting there just...
We were, yeah. I think most people do just that one, and we probably did 10.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe more?
I would say he did more than 10. Abraham for sure did more than 10.
15.
Yeah.
Oscar probably did like, maybe
I
like
didn't do
8.
that much because I'm like, dude, this guy's fucking he's cracked out.
In the trades, they say don't put your finger where you wouldn't put your dick in. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I follow the same rule with my nose.
Oh, I got you.
That shit scares me, bro. Like, no, I'm all right.
I'm not figuring anything. What's
Man,
up?
what's up? The next day, I didn't have a hangover like normally I would after drinking that much, but I felt like in a daze.
Yeah,
It was just like this weird.
Yeah.
I didn't have a headache. I didn't feel like shit. I just didn't feel all there. I was like, man, something just.
I think that's the bitch that gave me a fucking pimple inside my nostril.
Nah, that motherfucker burns the inside of your nostril.
Fuck, well, then it burned the inside of my
He
nostril.
sensed it.
It's I don't know if you can tell, like right there on the side, it's fucking red.
Because you keep touching it.
Yeah, that's probably it too. Keep touching it. It fucking hurts, man.
Yeah.
Damn it, dude.
Don't touch it.
I can't help it.
He can't help it.
It's one of those things, kind of like you always get a fucking.
It hurts. It hurts.
It's like there's a booger in there. You're just like, God, I can't breathe, but I know it's right there. I can get it.
Damn.
So you always keep fucking with it. But shit, man. In the studio, Mr. Rock.
Welcome back.
BORREGO.
What up, everybody?
Back to the podcast. It's been a minute.
It's been a while, man.
You haven't been here yet, huh?
No, this is the first time in the studio. Y'all's new studio.
Damn.
I was like, y'all really stepped y'all's game up. This is amazing.
Yeah.
This is really, really cool.
If only the only thing is the cigars.
I miss the cigars. The
Yeah,
cigars
me
are cool.
too. But we'll eventually
figure something out.
We'll figure something out.
Man, we smoked out that last room like the first 2 times.
Oscar had to replace
After a while, I think my lungs learned to operate without oxygen, and I loved it.
Oscar had to replace that mini split.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Of all the smoke?
Yeah, it was so clogged up. Like I put that vent in there hoping it would get it all out, you know. But fuck no. I sitting there, I pulling that bitch apart, and it was like tar and shit. I was like, what the fuck is this coming from?
Yeah,
but apparently
we would smoke it out, man.
Yeah. It was
Good
fun
times.
though. Fuck it. We'll get it back though.
Hell yeah.
I want Sweet Janes again.
The Sweet Janes. Those are good. Those are good.
Those fucking Crux that I brought last time, bro. Those bitches were badass.
You ever had those?
Oh yeah, those are really
These
good.
are good, man. These are good. Of course, they make the bigger ones like an actual cigar, but we got to where we were smoking these little cigarillos.
There you go.
But they were good though.
So how's everything going for you, man?
Pretty good, man.
So far, so good. How work kicking?
Work, dad life. I don't know, man. Like, my life is kind of boring now, but I like it. It's real old man style, you know?
Yeah.
It's a good
It's not
thing.
boring, bro. It's more refined, is what I say. It's not boring. It's refined.
Yeah.
I was catching up with an old friend I hadn't talked to in like over a decade.
Uh-huh.
And she was just like, man, you were always drunk last time I talked to you. I'm like, damn, like
That bad, huh?
it brought back relapses. Like, damn, I'm not like that at all anymore. Now I'm boring now.
Yeah.
But no, life's been good. Just working, construction, dad life, chilling.
How's business going?
Man,
Last time we talked, it was kind of slowing down.
it was slowing down and it got worse.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, but they're saying that market's gonna pick back up. I'm still waiting for it. Like,
God, I hope so.
yeah, man. I mean, we were making money over fist for a while, and like I miss it.
Yeah, man.
I got a
me
lot
too.
of downtime, man. Like,
Yeah.
I get stir crazy too. I can't stay like a whole weekend just at the house.
Yeah.
So
It's like one of those things when it's good, and when it's bad, it's real bad.
yeah, man. Yeah. So like,
That sucks.
Yeah. The kid loves it because I can't sit at home, so we're fucking taking trips now. That's cool.
Oh yeah, that's badass, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just take off out of town to like.
Oh yeah,
San
man. We've
Antonio.
been to the Great Wolf Lodge.
Okay, that's
I
badass.
took him to. He likes the indoor stuff. The Kalahari. We went to Kalahari. Man, that one broke the bank. That place is expensive, but it's worth it, dude. Just me and the kid, right, on that trip, and bro, it was just one night. Like the hotel room was like $700.
Yes.
And then the tickets and then everything else. I drank a little bit. They have a bar. Bro, I blew through money like retarded.
Shit, you wouldn't Kalahari, bro. The fucking food's
Jesus.
expensive. The room's expensive.
Everything.
It's a trap.
It kicked my
It sounds like a
ass.
trap.
Oh yeah.
Damn. But it was a good time though.
We drove straight there, and then we stayed there all weekend and drove straight back. I checked my bank account, and I swear I was like almost $3,000 less. I'm like, where? Like, holy shit.
That room service, man, the fucking drinks, bro, they're expensive. The pizza's actually pretty fire.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
it's good.
I was
had the
surprised
pizza.
about the fire.
Yeah.
You know, about the pizza, I mean. But yeah, dude, fucking get ready. You got to take out a loan just to fucking
Dude, it's
just to go to
insane.
Kalahari.
Round Rock.
And it,
I believe so, yeah.
It's in Round Rock. And so I booked it online. I didn't know what to expect. I had buddies that told me how badass it is, but like when you walk in, man, it's so grandiose, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how like luxurious it looks. And so keep in mind, at this point, I hadn't had a trip. So like, you know, I went through the divorce and everything else. And sometimes I go through the house and I'm looking for something and I'm like, she took it. You know what I mean? Like you're going through the motions and you're like, you don't need it till you miss it. And I'm sorry, you don't miss it till you need it.
Yeah.
Right. And so like the night before we're about to leave, I was going to go grab my duffel bag. Right. Everything's closed. It's already after 11 o'clock. I can't go to Walmart to go get like luggage or whatever. And we're leaving at like 5 a.m. in the morning. And I'm like, I know where my duffel bag's at. And it's big enough. I knew I could put the kid stuff in and my stuff in.
Yeah.
And like, I go to grab it and I was like, it's not there. Fuck, she took the duffel. I have nothing to pack my clothes in, bro. So keep in mind, I don't know what to expect when I get to Kalahari. So I'm like, I've done it before. Fuck it. I went and grabbed HEB shopping bags, right? HEB like plastic bags, like the grocery bags. And I'm just throwing stuff in there. Yeah. And then I pull up and I'm like, I forget that everything's in fucking plastic bags. You know what I mean? It's in the back seat, and I forget. I pull up, and I'm so mesmerized by everything. Like, this place is badass. Bro, I get down, you see businessmen. You see people from, like, Africa dressed, like,
in a suit.
Expensive gear.
Yeah.
You see Lambos and Ferraris. Like, dude, I must have pulled up at the wrong moment because, like, I showed up, and I'm like, what the fuck? And, like, everybody has, like, Gucci fucking bags. And like you got to go check in, and they have those kiosks to check in. And I'm walking in, and dude, I'm like the only Mexican in there, bro, with this little kid full of like 6 fucking HEB plastic shopping bags. I'm like, I didn't know if it was gonna be like Motel 6, you know what I mean? I didn't know what to expect. I'm like, that was a little embarrassing. It was like, a learning curve. It was a learning curve.
It's like the Hilton Premier.
Yeah, I go to a steakhouse. Steaks are like $200. I'm like, what the fuck?
No, because it was
blew
expensive.
my mind, dude.
See, we left, and I was kind of pissed, you know, because I'm like, I'm ready to go. No one's fucking packed. I was like, fuck it. I got in the fucking truck. You know, I was like, well, whatever we need, we'll fucking buy it there. I'm not gonna sit there. I forgot my chanclas. I forgot everything.
I'm
like that
you know?
too.
And like, we'll just fucking get it there. God damn, I wish I would have packed.
Yeah, dude.
Jesus Christ.
If you're gonna buy it there, you're gonna pay for it.
Oh yeah, fucking chanclas. I got them $50.
Yeah, dude. I was blown away. I had mine.
Hold on, like thong chanclas.
Thong chanclas, man.
Yeah.
You're paying like $50.
Yeah.
Are they brand name at least?
Silver something, silver tab. I don't know what it was.
Damn, bro, that's like a $5 pair of fucking
No
chanclas.
shit, bro.
I don't really own shorts, so I had to get me a pair of shorts when we were already there. The kid didn't have his sandals, and he didn't have a swimming shirt. So just those 3 things, I spent like $120 something.
Oh yeah.
It was retarded, dude.
Bro. Ugh.
And I have the same mentality. I'll just get it when I get there. Like, it's not here. I got to get it somewhere. Just hit the road and worry about it later.
Yeah.
How far outside of Round Rock is this place? Could y'all have like drove into Round Rock and probably went to like Walmart or something?
Man, it's almost right there.
Yeah, it's right next to it.
That would have been the
But
best.
it's like you get there and it's so overwhelming that leaving is actually a lot because I got to walk back to my car.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
And it's way the fuck out
it's
there.
it's a whole situation.
Yeah.
I got you. You're like, nah, I'm paying $100.
And that's another thing. I ended up paying for valet because I missed the lane to self park, and I just pulled right up to the front, and the valet just comes over and takes it. And I paid for valet before, bro. Like, you know, like $40-$50. I got it. It's fine. Fuck no, dude. I ended up spending like $100 and something on valet too.
God damn.
I'm like, this is like over
They're
double.
like, got him.
Everything was expensive. Everything
Yeah.
was expensive.
No, fuck that. I parked in the general parking. I'll walk to the front door.
I wish I would have done that. I don't mind walking, dude. It was,
See what? But then again, I didn't know either. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I just pulled up and I was like, "There's parking over here. Just fucking, I'll park right back in there."
Yeah.
It's kind of like going to Six Flags. You know, got a big old fucking parking lot. You just find somewhere to park and
Just
I'll walk to the front.
and then we got there and we didn't need the vehicle till we left. So what was the point of valet? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
If I had some in and outs to do, okay, cool. But like, fuck, that valet cost me too.
What was mind blowing though is it like you were saying? There's Lambos. There's all type of people. The amount of people in that fucking lobby, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, you know, what the fuck do these people do? Because dude, they'll literally blow cash. They're blowing through that shit.
Dude. Oh yeah.
You know, and then I guess
It's
when
Texas,
you walk out,
bro. Texas right now, it's oil field, and right now there's a shitload of like electronics companies in Austin now. So there's like young people with a fuckload of money now.
yeah.
I mean, you got what, Tesla,
Real
you got
estate.
Google, real estate is another one. You got all these fucking Fortune 500 companies in Texas.
And Austin's like
Yeah,
a magnet right now.
Yeah.
And but man, what got me was like I'd never seen so many people from different parts of the world in one place.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'd seen stuff similar, but not on that scale. Like,
Yeah.
Man, there was
Like that, huh?
Yeah, like you
Hear all
almost have
kinds
to
of
know-
languages.
Yeah, like I would feel like the employees would have to be like multilingual, man. Like,
Wow.
yeah, it was crazy.
That's
yeah.
like New York, huh? You just
Yeah.
hear
kinda-
every kind of language as you're
everybody.
It
walking
had
around.
that kind of feel, man.
Yeah,
like,
that's crazy.
I meet you down in the swimming pool. And I'm like, what the fuck? No, 'cause it's crazy, bro.
I'm like way out class with my little HEB bags, bro.
Yeah.
So like that was a learning curve.
I started watching people's luggage. And I'm like, I never heard of that brand.
Dude, when you start pricing, when you actually go like luggage shopping, fucking shit.
Yeah, everything's fucking
Luggage
crazy.
is not, no, that shit is high dollar.
I just
Even if
wanted-
you're going for some cheap shit, it's still
Yeah.
high dollar.
Yeah, I just wanted to. When we flew to Vegas, I just wanted one with the roller and the handle that pulled up. So I went to Walmart, and even at Walmart, I was blown away.
Yeah.
Just a little. Well, I wanted a bigger size because
carry-on.
we were packing. Yeah, just the biggest carry on I could have on the plane. I ended up spending $80 on one. little
Easily.
thing.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is Walmart, bro.
I know.
What the
It's
fuck?
like everything's
That's
so
the low
fucking-
end.
Yeah.
So can you imagine going up
Ugh.
like further? Like, man,
Man.
Is that we're gonna start this episode, man, talking about how expensive shit is. Look, all
shit
right.
is high dollar.
Twisted Burger is good, right?
Yeah.
It's good.
Twisted
Eh,
burger?
Twisted Root.
Twisted root.
Twisted
Twisted
Root.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twisted root?
But if I'm paying fucking $80 for 3 burgers and a salad,
Is that what it costs now?
fuck yeah, bro. I was pissed. I think when you called, I was like, I hope this bitch burns down. I was so mad, bro. I mean, hey, I give it to him. But
It's good, though.
Yeah, it's good. But still, I don't give a fuck if it's good. All right. If I'm gonna order a fucking burger, all right, the traditional thing is like you get burger with some fries, right? The fucking
they're-
fries shouldn't be a la carte.
It's a la carte, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking God. It makes me so mad.
That's how they
man.
get you.
You know what I think would have pissed me off more than that? I was pretty mad. My kid went on and on and on and on about this place called Go Goji, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've been there.
I get there, bro, and I see the prices, and I'm like, shit, this is kind of high. And everywhere I go, I like to have a drink or two. So like, I had like 2 beers, and then we order what we want, and I saw what was on the table, but it didn't click. They bring you the food, and I'm paying all this fucking money,
For you to cook it.
and then I had to cook it.
Yes.
I looked at my boy, and I was like, we could have done this at home, kid. Like I was like, I gotta cook it too,
Yeah.
and I
That
wonder.
place closed, didn't it?
Yeah, and then I wonder why they didn't make it. Like I bet you a lot of people had my same perspective. Like,
Oh yeah, especially
Like-
because I went there's 6 of us, right?
Yeah.
So I took my whole fam bam, and the fucking what's gonna feed all of us costs $130. So I'm like, I'm not gonna get the fucking it feeds 4. No, there's 6 of us. So I was sitting there and ordered that shit. I'm pissed the whole time. Food was good. I'm not gonna, I mean, we had a fun time.
Yeah.
Cooking. You know what I mean? Even though it made me mad that I had to cook my own food. But my first experience was a place called the Melting Pot out of Austin.
I've been there.
Have you?
Yeah.
I was so pissed, bro. I told my wife, I was like, "You ever bring me back here again, I'll divorce you." This is
done.
Listen, this is dumb, dude. I'm paying top notch prices to cook my own fucking food.
Yeah.
Nah, you better get out of
I've
this
been there.
shit.
There used to be another place not too far from the Melting Pot, and it's a vegan restaurant. I didn't know this, right? So I go down there. We're partying down there, and some friends of mine down there are like, "Hey, there's this badass new restaurant we're gonna go to." And I was like, "All right, cool. Should we go there?" It's expensive as fuck, right? It's all vegan bullshit. I was like, dude,
my
what
God,
the
I've been
fuck?
so
Like,
fucking
what the
mad,
fuck?
bro.
What the fuck? So it's
Vegan
like
food's expensive.
it's very expensive, and it was like ravioli, and then they put this paste in there, and it tastes like the meat, and it's like, man, just put the fucking meat in there. I swear to God, we left there, I was still starving. I was like, this,
and that's the part that pisses me off, dude.
I spent like $200. It didn't do nothing for me.
You spend all that money to taste food that's not meat, but it works so hard to make it taste like meat that it's so fucking. Or look, if you're gonna make vegan food, make it taste like whatever the fuck vegan food's supposed to taste like. Make that taste good.
Like
Don't
grass,
make it taste like beef
grass
or
and
fucking
salt.
or chicken.
Yeah.
I was like, it's its own fucking menu. Quit trying to fool me.
Don't imitate something I can go cook at home.
Exactly,
Like,
man.
do your own thing.
Yeah. Oh, so fucking.
And it was
pissed,
super
bro.
expensive
But
though. Like,
I think
man.
the reason why they do it is because a lot of the vegan community. I'm not sure how. I'm not sure. I don't even know, to tell you the truth. Maybe not a lot, but I had friends that were vegans, and a lot of them tell me that most people are vegan because they can't digest meat or meat products. Like, it makes them sick.
They just need to get their body used
That's
to it.
some weak ass fools right there.
So yeah, but it's the thing is, that's why they do that. So it's like giving those people a taste of like what normal people would be able to
Okay.
do.
Yeah.
So like they're
Okay,
trying
so
to like
if they have like a medical
be
deal,
inclusive, you know.
if they have a medical deal, I totally understand that.
No,
Yeah.
no,
If
no,
they have
no.
a medical problem,
No,
bro,
no,
really?
no, no.
You're mad 'cause they have-
Nature is designed to call those people out.
Oh,
All right. We are changing the way we're doing this to satisfy those type of people. All right. I'm going to go ahead and just give out on that because look, I understand that you're vegan. Some people have a medical issue. All right. But if we were in the 1800s, you'd be called the fuck out.
We're not in the 1800s.
But exactly. We're not.
But we
I don't
should
give
be.
a fuck. It's like we keep perpetuating this shit. Now I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, right?
You want
But
some smelling salts?
no. Maybe later.
Maybe later.
I get what people, maybe that's it. I've never caught that.
Yeah.
I've always caught the fact that it's like, hey, eating a lot of red meat gives people like maybe gout or stuff like that, So, I mean, I get that to a point, but I'm like,
I think there's some people that their digestive system is just not as strong, or they weren't given enough meat when they were younger, so their body they need to get used to it. They need to start eating
They have to
it.
adapt
that may
to
be
it.
They
it.
need
That
to
may be
adapt to it. I feel like that's part of the problem. Is that okay? You weren't given enough of it. You need to start eating more of it. That way, your body can adjust.
See, and that's
do you have dogs?
Yes.
Have you ever switched the dog food on them?
Yes.
Fuck.
No, actually, no, I haven't. I
you've
did it
been-
once, but they.
Yeah, if you ever switch the dog food on your dogs, they're gonna fucking throw that shit up for like the first few days until their body adjusts to it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm talking like you can go from one expensive brand to another. They're both really good brands, but just because you're switching them, there's different ingredients that they're not used to.
Well, yeah, I only say this because it's like people real close to me, and this I'm talking about family, like direct family. I'm like, man, you can't feed those kids meat because they've been eating fucking pasta and chicken nuggets the entire life.
It's gonna fuck
You
'em
know,
up.
and I'm like, yeah, like my kids, bro, get you a steak.
That's one way to look at it, man. If the parents are soft and they notice, oh, like they couldn't handle it, and they're gonna make their kids softer.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like it just turns into, and it can turn into a
Snowballs
grown
into-
adult that's like way softer than their parents were. You know what I mean? What if you got that same person they can't eat meat, but as a child maybe you would have had a little bit more tough love. Like my mom was a type like, if you're not gonna eat what I make, you're just not gonna eat.
Yeah.
Damn,
So
that's
like,
right.
am I gonna starve? You know what I mean? So like,
Yes, you are.
if you would, what if you would have gotten this 30-year-old vegan at 3 years old and put him in my mom's house? Could he have eaten meat at 30?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't. I mean, it's just what you condition yourself to,
Yeah.
But
But even
Right.
then, I mean, like, how far back can we consider? I mean, maybe Tiffany, you can look this up. Like, how far back does veganism go?
Let's see.
Because I'm sorry, I'll argue this to my fucking.
so biologically speaking, they go into the teeth. Have you seen those arguments?
Yes.
So like the reason our teeth grow the way they grow, like, and they compare
Damn, you got some
herbivores.
knowledge, bro. Hold on,
They
I'm
compare
listening.
like in the animal kingdom, they compare the same thing to herbivores
Okay.
and their teeth. You know which class of which class of animal in the animal kingdom you are because of your teeth.
Your teeth,
Yes.
yeah.
So like that science, like biologically speaking on a science level, the way our teeth are formed as humans, the molars,
They can tell like
Yeah.
you've eaten more vegetables
you're-
than you have meat.
we have evolved into a species that needs meat to survive.
Yes. Well, meat's
So,
the
like-
reason that we got where we're at.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
it wasn't for meat. Like you can tell, and there's another one. There's another the way that people's jaw lines. You know, you can tell whether they're like soft food or hard food.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, because like you're not a real big fan of real soft food.
Hell no.
No, I can tell by the jaw line.
Thank you.
I can tell. I like soft food. I like soft.
You
food.
like soft food?
I like soft food.
Well,
Really?
I recently
like pastas. You like a lot
Well,
of
my
pasta.
teeth are closer together because I don't
okay.
have to. Like you tell people who like crunchy shit, they got bigger jaws.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
because it literally takes the crunching of it. I don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like different types of food, but I like to more like when I chew it, softer, the more tender. Like chicharrón is my favorite. You know what I mean? Just real soft, real food that falls
texture,
apart.
Yeah.
But that all depends on the fucking jaw. Like I didn't know that.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
either.
Wow, the more you know.
Yeah, the more you know.
Fucking what did you, baby?
What did you do?
So it's that, but you can tell people it's like you don't like soft food either. Yeah, you can tell by the jawline.
No.
because
Like-
my face is more like a smaller mouth. Everything's further closer together like that. My fat. You can see
stuff like pudding
Oh,
and
now I'm curious.
Yeah.
oatmeal and Jello. Like I can't stand those kind of textures, man.
Yes, see, and I can.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like, and I like the taste of oatmeal. I just don't like the texture of it. So I like very rarely eat it.
Yeah,
But
I
don't
like
know, man.
crunchy stuff.
Yeah,
I like
crunchy
to
stuff.
I like to hide my jawline with my double chin though. So I'm surprised you were able to pick up on
But
that.
see, if you were like double chin, I can tell by looking at you. But if you like soft stuff, you'd have less of a fucking. You still have the double chin, but less of a jaw structure.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Everything would be closer together. Like you see those, it's just a little bit closer, like mine.
I was
I just
joking
like
about my
soft shit.
double chin, but you just confirmed that I have
Yeah.
one. I'm gonna go home with a complex.
I'm like, oh fuck, my bad.
Fuck those guys. I hate it over there.
I'm not going back on that show.
Next thing they tell me you want to come on, fuck you.
My bad.
But yeah, dude, like I usually would grow a beard like this long to hide it, but I know I got one, bro. I'm fucking.
At least you can grow a beard. I can't grow a fucking beard.
You can't grow one?
I don't know. Those are mine right there.
Mine
Look.
grows white now.
Mine
It was like
don't-
from one day to the next, bro. Like my, he used to have like a full black, dark beard, and then the next day, all of a sudden, it was just patchy white, and then it's all white.
It's your
I'm like,
vitiligo,
Freaking-
right?
yeah,
Gandalf?
yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. The vitiligo.
Gandalf. I was thinking the same thing.
Which is Gandalf.
Hey, bro, but that shows maturity, brother. You know what I mean?
I mean-
It's
Sophistication.
wisdom.
It's an autoimmune disease. Let's not give them credit.
Now, man, I like growing
Ouch.
mine, and then it gets to a certain point, and it just it don't matter how much I comb it, take care
Yeah.
of it. It looks, bro. I look real chuntaro, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not from here.
Well, yeah, I get
So
it.
like I trim it back, bro, and
Yeah.
this time I trimmed it back too far. I'm like, damn, you can see that double chin. Fuck.
I gotta talk shit because I can't grow a beard for the life of me. I cannot grow a fucking
Really?
beard. It's
You got
too
more
much
Indian in you.
It's too much Indian.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm fucking one.
Gotta
Yeah, way too much, bro. I'm like the way I cover myself to camouflage. I got to put mud on me. I gotta get in with the fucking deer, bro. Throw some grass on me and shit like that.
Oh my gosh.
God damn it.
Which is funny because I'm like, you look at my family, right? I got two different types. Like my mom's side, bro, they don't grow hair.
Yeah.
Like they're Indian. As
Your
fuck.
Theos have full beards.
Fuck yeah, bro. It's like-
Full beards. Yeah, that's right.
They're like
Yeah.
bears.
Yeah.
Bears.
Which I can't. I take more after my mom's side,
Yeah.
than anybody else. But yeah, bro, like you see my uncles, they're just like fucking. I think if they sneeze, they grow about an inch in their beard. It's like, it just comes out a little bit. But my family on my mom's side, bro,
Holy shit.
they're desert runners, dog.
They're Indians.
Oh yeah, they're Indian.
Yeah.
They're Indian is.
Yeah.
You see them because it's kind of weird. You sit there, look at them, right?
Yeah.
They grow no hair. They got green hazel eyes. Like there's, I was like, I didn't get any of that shit. I just got fucking their hairless, fucking short, easily gain weight and shit. They're those type of cheese.
Oh man, that's crazy though. How like, especially Mexicans, like there's so much variation of like Spaniard and Indian. I mean, you can
Yes.
and like there's a huge variation there.
Yeah.
Like even like you're looking at your dad's side, there's probably way more Spaniard. And you look at your mom's side, there's definitely more Indian.
Yeah.
Same thing on mine. I can definitely see it on my mom's side. There's not very many bearded people, but I look at my dad's side, there's a lot of bearded people.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't win the gene lottery at all in this motherfucker. It's like I took after my dad. My dad was a runt of the family.
Yeah.
And then my mom, which the way they met, the way they both met was hilarious. I thought it. because it's like I'm not gonna fuck with you unless you got papers. Hey man, I give props to my mom, bro, because
wait. Oh, and then he got papers.
Oh, he had papers.
Oh, then she got papers. Okay, I see.
Yeah, because my grandfather was the chief of police in San Carlos.
Okay.
So he was able to, I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was able to get all his paperwork together and shit. So when if I remember this story correctly, I may be getting it wrong, so nobody fucking kill me over it. Yeah, when they came over, they had a lot of them had the papers, and then I think the few youngest ones were actually born here. Well, my mom, bro, she left where she was at 15 years old.
Oh shit.
You know, and I think I've told this story before, so I'm not. But yeah, anyway, she made it all the way to the U.S. She came here. She met my dad. My dad was trying to hit on her and shit like that. And she's like, "I'm not fucking with you. I'm not fucking with anybody who can't give me papers." You know. So I mean, my dad was all, "I got papers. What's up?" You know. So that's how they met. But you know, I've never really stopped and really talked to my mom about this shit, right? Because it's kind of well, she left.
You should.
I should, but you kind of know what comes with that. You know what comes with that territory.
It's good to know.
It is, but it's kind of it does bring up some dark shit, you know, because you think a 15-year-old girl, right? She leaves this fucking desert nowhere with
It's a story that needs to be told, though.
Oh yeah, bro. Like when she literally came to, she's like, she saw a TV for the first time, she saw a phone for the first time, she saw an actual fucking car for the first time, because where she actually grew up was in the middle of fucking desert.
Yeah.
And they had donkeys and a fucking wagon. That's it. When she decided to leave, man, she jumped on this fucking wagon with a bunch of dudes. And other people was like, we're going towards town. And it's hours that way. You know, it was fucking, because we turned off the highway to go visit this fucking place, right? And it was an hour, well, maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours off the fucking road that we're going on.
In a car.
In a car.
Yeah.
In desert. We show up, and I'm like, there's like this mirage, right? There's like these fucking huts, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? She's like, I see these little black dots. Yeah. As the closer we get, they're fucking houses. They're adobe houses.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah. And then I get there, and literally, dude, I mean, you could watch your dog run away for days, for fucking days, bro. Like when I talk about mesquites, about as tall as this bottle. You know, that's it. That's as tall as they grow. That's how much water they get out there.
God.
And there's one every fucking 20 foot. You know, so you can literally watch your dog run away for days, and then riding back to his village, bro.
He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, he ain't going nowhere. He's like, he's still running. He's mad still. But their water was a stock tank that the fucking cattle, the cow drank out of. And I'm like, what are they eating? There's no grass. Yeah, they're eating the leaves of the mesquite trees because all the mesquites are bare.
Oh shit!
So that's their food, bro. This is a village of probably 100, 150 people, maybe.
Is there a cactus over there like the cactus that we have out here? No, nothing like that.
The cactus it's too dry for the cactus to grow.
Fuck, that's bad.
Like I'm like, what the fuck? Where are we?
Yeah,
we're in the. I was like, we literally pulled up to this fucking.
Is that part of the Sonora Desert? Is that what that is?
I have no idea. I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even tell you where it was at.
Damn.
All I know, it was fucking desert and not a goddamn thing inside.
Barren.
It was. If it would rain, it would look like the.
I think that's Chihuahuan Desert.
Oh, I have no idea. If it would rain, it would look like the salt flats.
Damn.
In Utah, that's what it would look like.
It rains and it causes a dust storm.
Yes. Yeah, it's bad, bro. Or flood, everything starts to stink and shit.
Oh yeah.
It was crazy because we pulled up in this bitch and it's like, all right, disconnect the batteries. You know, put the truck on bricks, jack the truck up, put it on bricks so that there's no weight on the tires so they don't lose any air.
Oh shit.
And no air pump. I mean, no air compressor. So everybody's got a hand pump because you got to air this bitch up. All right, turn it off. We got to stop at that. Before we turn off the road, we got to fill up with goddamn, what's it called? Like 30 gallons of gas. So when we get out there, we got something to fucking put in this bitch to get back.
Damn.
I was like, what the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Anyways, that's where my mom came from. 15 years old. She got to the States at 16. My family finally picked up where they were and kind of migrated closer to a bigger city. Still moved out to the outskirts like a Grape Creek, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're right. That would be a fucking, I was like, maybe have her on here. I like speak Spanish, but we'll fucking translate. Because
that'd be cool to have her on here. But even if you don't have her on here, just so you can know the whole story.
She's told me, but I'm like, how much is it exaggerated, right? I mean, and then we went to go visit, and I'm like, oh, fuck.
It's exactly that.
It's exactly that. Yeah. Well, she sits there and tells me, right? She's like, fuck this. I left because when winter came, You didn't know if you woke up the next morning and there were frozen kids.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's what was her final straw.
Yeah.
Where it's like, why do y'all keep having kids if every winter you got to figure out which one's going to live?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sad.
You know, she's like, this is fucking stupid. So she climbed on she got the fuck out of there. She took off to Dodge.
I've
man.
always associated deserts with extreme heat. I never realized the extreme cold they have.
Exactly. And then at night, yep.
Dude, like they hit like negatives, bro. Like people can die out there. That's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah. You know, everybody starts their fire. They bring the little ashes inside, you know.
Yeah.
Because you got to wait till it turns into embers,
Coals,
you know,
yeah.
it's coals. So fucking, you bring that shit inside and you take care of that. No one throws anything in there.
Because it'll get smoky.
Oh, yeah. And kill everybody in there from fucking carbon monoxide, which I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. When they brought that in, I was like, oh, I got a piece of gum, throw it in there. No. Fuck, I got my ass ripped up. It's like, hey, don't be doing that. You're going to kill us all if you do that. You know, I was like, oh, fuck, I didn't know that, you know. Of course, at 10 years old, who knows about carbon monoxide?
Yeah.
You know. But, bro, it was so mind-blowing. That whole shit is mind-blowing. When I sit there and look back at the shit that I did, bro, it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, man. Like, my kids, I can never explain that to my kids because my kids are like, so where was the Wi-Fi? Well, y'all have any Wi-Fi? No, you don't understand, bro.
It's
Have they ever been down there?
No.
You need to take them down there one of these days.
No, they wouldn't survive, dog.
Oh, well.
They were like, get me the fuck out of
That's
here.
how you figure out which kids you're going to keep.
You're gone.
I know you working in the oil field.
Yes, sir.
This probably feels like home to you, but for me, it was like, man, and you know, I spent a lot of time in Mexico growing up as a kid.
Uh-huh. What part of Mexico?
Acuña.
Okay.
But I mean, my I had different clans of family. Sometimes on the outskirts, man, on the outskirts of Acuña. I've been out in ranches out there too.
Okay.
But man, it's been years. You know, I grew up. I spent probably decades without going back over there.
Uh-huh.
And I got a job in Sonora to do some spray foam, man. And this guy has an oil field company, but when they're down, he turns to his construction company and they start doing metal buildings for people out in Sonora.
Okay.
He goes, man, it's in Sonora. He goes, meet me at that Texas Ranger gas station. I'm like, okay, cool. He goes, it's just a couple miles past Sonora. I went out there with half a gas of fuel, like half a tank of fuel. I'm already buzzing. Half a tank of fuel. And, bro, he starts driving and driving and driving. There you go. And driving. And, bro, we're like 45 minutes past Sonora. We're already coming up, like, if you go to Del Rio, you know those twists and turns around the mountains and shit. We're getting out there, and I'm like, a couple miles past Sonora, motherfucker. Like I only came with it. I know my truck, bro. Like, I'll drive it to empty. You know what I mean? Like, I'm one of those. I'm like, if we go a couple miles past Sonora, I'm good. So like, when I got there, he was already waiting for me. I didn't want to hold him up even more. I'm like, I'll be fine. At lunch, I'll come back to the gas station, fuel up, get me some food or whatever. Dude, he took me out way out. And then when we hit we came off of a mountain. We went into the ranch. Once we hit that Caliche Road, it was still like another 20 minutes of driving. I don't even know how my truck made it out there.
Damn.
In tow, a 14,000-pound trailer. You know what I mean? To do the spray foam. I get there, I'm like, bro, you fucked me. He goes, why? I go, you told me it was going to be a couple miles past Sonora, bro. I thought I was going to have a chance to go get some fuel. He goes, he laughs. And he goes, yeah, man, no. And then I told him the story. I was like, do you have somewhere where I can get some fuel? He goes, yeah, and I could see it sticking out of his truck. You know those with the long spouts?
Oh, yeah. You got a tank.
I go, I'll leave that with my worker. Just pick it up on your way out. I'm like, okay, cool. Bro, I did the whole job, and I'm having to worry about getting back home, and I can't find that fucking dude he left the gas tank with. And I'm out there stranded. No signal.
Oh, shit.
Fucking heat coming down. I thought I was going to have a chance to go get lunch. I didn't have no water, no food. I'm out there by myself in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Dude.
Damn it.
Like, I'm like, dude, I can't, like, I'm so parched, I can't make it 3 miles down the road. Like, I realized real quick how much of a city kid I had become.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't survive this. And there's people that can survive that shit. And it just brought a sense of reality. Like, we don't know what survival really is like, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it comes to you real fucking fast, dude.
That's so hilarious you say that because that actually happened to me, right? And I'm like, all right, I guess I got to walk over there. As I'm walking, I'm like, oh, there's a cactus fucking pear. Take it out, and I sit there and I'm shaving that prickly pear off on top.
Got water right
And I'm
there.
sitting there, eat it.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to do that shit, bro. I'm like, I know my grandpa could have survived this shit. You know what I mean? Like, kind of, and I'm thinking to myself, like, if nobody comes to help, I'm gonna fucking die out here, bro. Like, the reality sets in. Like,
oh yeah,
I make it a point.
Quick, like,
I make it a point to always have waters in my truck.
yeah.
There's always water in my truck.
bro.
I got 2 cases in my truck right now.
Always.
He told me it was a few miles past an hour. I'm like, okay, I'll go to the job site. I'll get set up. Like, I'll have the equipment running. And then I'll take a break and I'll come back and I'll get my food and my water. Bro, he threw me through a whole loop. I was not prepared. No water,
yeah.
no food, no fuel. He disappears on me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just stranded out there. No, I'm looking for the phone. Dude, I walked all the way up to this fucking hill trying to get phone signal. No fucking phone signal.
Damn it.
I'm like, dude, I'm going to die out here, bro. Like,
Yeah.
this is it. This is it. Like, fuck, nobody
Dude,
knows where I'm at.
if
Like,
you get
I didn't
pretty
give
deep back
nobody
there-
instructions, like, how to come get me. Nothing.
No.
You get pretty deep back there in Sonora, El Dorado area,
Yeah.
bro. You're in the woods,
Bro, I was
You're
out
in the woods.
boonies, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like,
There ain't shit out there.
bro, and I'm like, I got my 9mm, maybe I can kill something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but nah, dude, it like, and I still remember the feeling of reality setting in. Reality isn't back in San Angelo. This is fucking reality.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Like right here. Like,
moment-
can you make it here? And I can't. Like,
You know what's
I'll
crazy?
die.
Because all it takes is an EMP.
Yeah.
And everybody's back
and
And we
there.
will
everybody's
be
down.
in that place.
Yeah,
Yes.
people will be right
We
in
will
that
be
place.
in that place.
Yep. And it's funny because it's not it's not nature you got to worry about out there.
Yeah.
It's all
the other motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Everybody's in survival mode.
Yep.
See, that's my reality, man. Because here's what I do: I make sure I have a 5-gallon bucket of gas in my truck at all times.
Yeah.
At all times,
I need
because
to
you have
start
to.
doing that. Like, but
'Cause-
that's, I
yeah.
mean, I'm 40, bro. Like, in my 22 years of like doing construction, I've been out in the boonies like that, but I've never been in that position where like
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just utterly stranded, no food, no water, like, and I'm going on like 8 hours of like not eating. Like,
Yeah.
okay, this is about to get very
That gets to your
fucking
head
real.
too, because
Yeah,
now
your mind starts
your mind-
working
yes.
against you,
Yeah.
and like you start thinking worst case scenarios and shit. I'm like, fuck, I'm like, well, it's time to fucking start walking. Like, that's ultimately what I came to. And right when I was like, here comes the dude with the fucking fuel. I'm like, oh motherfucker, don't do this shit to me, dude.
Yeah.
They promised me fuel, bro.
Yeah.
And he gave me the 5 gallons, dude. I don't even know how the 5 gallons got me to Sonora, man. Like, the needle kind of, because I have a 32
Diesel?
gallon, I have a 32 gallon gas tank on my diesel, and like I put 5 gallons in there, and the fuel gauge barely did this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta make it like 45 minutes back into town, probably longer, probably an hour. And I'm like, fuck, pull in this trailer, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, at least it'll get me to where I have signal if I get stranded again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny because when
Shit.
somebody tells me it's just a couple miles, I'm like,
You
fill
liar.
up.
You
Fill
liar.
up
Yeah.
before we go.
Yeah.
Because that's the lingo,
got
bro.
me, bro.
Yeah, there's a lingo out there. It's just like, oh, it's just a little bit. And I'm like, hold on a second. My little bit and your little bit are 2 different types.
Maybe that's why he smirked at me when I said it. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, you fucked me, bro. What do you mean? I go, you said it was a few miles past an hour. And he goes, like, it ain't funny, motherfucker.
The cool thing about those people, though, is that you never have, in my opinion, in my experience, you never have to worry about them paying the bill.
They always cover it.
Yeah.
Bro, the next morning, he told me to meet up at his office. I go over there, cash money. Mm-hmm. Bro, he paid like 5 times the amount I probably would have paid in town. Like, they
Hell
don't care
yeah.
out there.
Oh, yeah.
They don't care out there. Those motherfuckers
It's a
got
different
money.
Yeah, it's a whole different mindset out there, man. Because I mean, you would think it's kind of weird, right? Like you live out in a ranch out in the middle of fucking nowhere. You know, how can you just drop 10,000?
Yeah.
How are you fucking making money out here? There ain't nothing out here. You know, and I'm like, but you have a bank account that's pretty much endless,
Yeah.
or it easily
Old money.
recoups itself. Old money, yeah.
It's old money.
Yeah, that's just mind blowing.
And then out there in that area, there's a lot of hunting.
Oh,
Shitload of hunting out there. So they might have that land might be hunting leases that they're getting paid constantly by people from up north. They have no problem with paying big money.
yeah, but still, to sit there and try to explain that to somebody, they're like, I'm sorry, you do what?
Yeah.
Hunting?
Oh, dude, there's big money. in
How,
that.
yeah,
Big fucking money.
We know that. You
Oh,
know, but
yeah.
the old regular Joe, you're just like, hold on, I just come for to spray fucking insulation. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And I'm like, am I gonna get paid? Am I gonna be stranded? Are you
Yeah.
gonna take care of the fact that I need to get back into town? And dude,
Oh yeah, they
Hey.
take care of you.
those are the most mind blowing ones, man. When we go all the way out there and you
Yeah.
like, so you don't have to worry about their paying your bills.
Yeah.
Because they know.
I've been by some of those hunting camps out there, and it's like, damn, you'll see some where it's just a bunch of like RVs that are just in a circle. But then you'll drive by somewhere and it's just in the middle of fucking nowhere. This big ass fucking 2-story log cabin.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Why is this here? That's
Yeah.
a fucking hunting lodge that motherfuckers from New York City pay $20,000 per fucking gun.
Yeah,
Oh,
bring
yeah.
that bullshit hot sauce.
Yes, bringing that goddamn, what is it, pace picante.
Hey, that's what's San Antonio.
But those motherfuckers pay big money to go down there to go hunting. It's like, dude,
yeah.
really? Like that?
There's
Dude,
bukus of money in places you would never think.
yeah.
It's just fire.
I'm gonna have to have a drink now.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm glad, man.
Dude,
I'm
I'm
about to try it in a
fucking.
minute.
I'm drunk.
Oh wait, I don't want to get drunk though.
No, I'm drunk. You
Oh,
don't have
well,
to
you've
get
been
drunk.
drinking.
Smelling salts.
Smell.
Fuck that. Tiffany, we don't say those words around here.
So when we got off the podcast the next day after this last week, I'm at work and I'm so worried because I feel weird. I don't feel myself. I'm not hungover, but I'm just not myself.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
weird. I'm scared that somebody from my boss is gonna show up and be like, "Hey,
What's wrong with you?
yeah, what the fuck's going on?" Like, I've never had that incident ever happen before because I've never had that feeling like that. I was just sweating it out. I was like, "Please don't show up. Please don't show up."
Please.
I was like, "Oh my god!" But yeah, luckily everything kind of worked out okay. But man, those are okay, but just don't do. What do you think, Tiffany? 15 to 20?
Like I'd say,
Don't-
like a
don't
good
do
12.
one.
You can do one, but don't do 15. That sounds weird.
What did your wife say whenever y'all told them y'all did
So-
smelling salts?
So when I got home,
I think my wife looked down on me a little bit.
I think
She's like, "Oh my
so.
god."
So my wife thought that she didn't know what it was. She thought, the fuck is salt? Is that like? She thought it was like some hard drug. We're in here doing like heroin or some shit. Or you remember? You remember like back in
My
the.
parents were the same.
You know what I mean? Like in Florida, there were some people doing something else called
the bath salts.
Bath salts. Like she's thinking like that, and she was like, "What the fuck?" You know, she's getting mad. You know, like not at me, but she's telling me whenever. I guess she had talked to Tiffany the next day because she noticed that my truck wasn't there because she left to go to work before because she goes to work super early.
Yeah.
So I got home, she's already asleep. You know what I mean? She did say that she woke up and I wasn't there, and she was kind of worried. She checked location because my location's not on, but she checked Tiffany's location, I think. And she was like, "Okay, if Tiffany's still there, Abraham's still there." So she was like, "Okay, he's fine. He just better not drive." And I almost drove too. Thank you, Tiffany, for giving me a ride home.
Oh, of course. I had
So of course, Tiffany gave me a ride home. My truck is at home. She's leaving to go to work. It's like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. But when she gets there, I guess she texts Tiffany and she's like, "Why is my husband's truck not home? Like, what's going on? What happened last night?" I don't know exactly what she told you, but she was like, "Yeah, Tiffany told me that y'all were doing these smelling salts." And I started to get fucking pissed because I was like, "What the fuck are smelling salts?" You know? And but when I guess she explained it to
Yeah,
her, she
I
was
had
like,
to-
What's too old for that?
Is it a new drug?
"Yeah."
We're too old for that new shit.
Yeah. When she understood it, then she texted me the next day. "So how are you feeling today, retard?" I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I feel weird."
your
That's
nose
funny.
took a beating.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, those things are okay. I guess I can see how they could work for depending on your situation or what you're doing, but
No, that's too much.
don't
bro.
go
That's
as hard
too
as we went hard. I don't even think at the beginning when I was doing the editing at the beginning of the podcast, I was looking at it and I was like, the only times I've ever seen people do this was on either they're lifting weights or on Theo Vaughn.
Yeah.
But he's only gone in twice. I've only seen him go in twice.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, "Oh, he's a wild boy," Then we go in 15 fucking times, 20 fucking times. I'm like,
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, dude, it was a lot, bro.
And then you wonder
It
why
was
you
a
don't
lot.
feel yourself.
He
the
looked
next
like
day.
he had a problem at that
It's like,
point.
why is it burn?
I took 20 hits of bath salts. I mean.
He's like, "I'll do it again." Are you sure I could do it
it
again?
made for a hell of a podcast.
Oh, it was a long one.
We were in a zone. We were like in music. We started like listening to music.
They're in
Yo,
a
did-
vibe.
Have you ever done that before where you're just drinking and you're like, "Oh, I want to hear this song."
Yeah.
You want to hear this song.
Yeah.
And then you just keep on and keep
That
on.
was
and
the
keep
entire
on.
podcast.
That was the
Yeah.
whole
The
podcast.
vibe changes.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool. I had a good time. It was
Yeah,
fun.
you did.
But yeah, I definitely did. But for YouTube, it wasn't cool. YouTube doesn't like I did everything I could.
They have a lot of rules, right?
Big time.
Fuck, dude, it's
Big
dumb,
time, dude. I
It's so
spent
dumb.
like the episode came out late because I was spending so much time trying to edit it just right. I was like, okay, I would get just a little bit of the beginning of the song, so that way the audience is still into it. But then I would cut it and I would pick up right at the end as it's ending. I was like, okay, so that way, you know, as long as the conversation was still kind of going good, and if we were having like a really good conversation and we're talking over the song, that's okay too.
Yeah.
But if it's just you're letting too long go and it's just a song playing, you've got to cut it out.
Oh, wow.
Well, we still got flagged, and I spent forever on that fucking thing trying to get it just right, and
Like,
we
I
still
worked
got
hard on that.
it's partially banned.
Yeah.
You can still watch it. I didn't watch it all the way through to see what they banned. I don't know if it was the music or if it was because we were doing smelling salts and YouTube thinks we're doing drugs.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know exactly what the reason for
I'm
it.
looking at your Facebook profile, and it makes me laugh.
Who,
The
mine?
shit the shit you post.
What am I saying?
There's that one.
I forget what I say.
There's that one where it's the chick and I guess they're jumping the car. They're jumping. She's jumping
The
some
hell
of the
was
dude's
that?
car.
Was that thunder?
Oh no!
I think it was next door. They're doing a bunch of
Those containers. They probably shut one of the doors. Yeah.
where these girls are fucking. They're jumping some of the girls' car off, but no one's coming out to help them.
Yeah. She goes, she used the N word. There's one guy here, one guy here, one guy here, one guy here. He tried to help. And that motherfucker over there, and none of these motherfuckers wanted to help. And I'm like, I look at it, and the old me would have been like, man, what a fucking bunch of pussies. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, these newer generation motherfuckers, and like, I would talk shit about the men because men aren't men anymore.
No.
But now that I've been kind of paying attention, I understand why. Yeah. And I'm like, good. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, y'all are going to be finding less and less and less men. And I don't mean to sound like, now I'm going to get eaten up, right? Yeah. But I don't mean to sound like a misogynist or whatever you want to fucking call it. Everybody's going to have different words for it. But like, in the end, like, that shit's going to start happening more and more.
Yeah.
As men are learning their lessons, but guess what? I mean, women, I guess, are learning their lessons too. But like, I think there's double standards on both sides. But what's really turning dudes against being in serious relationships nowadays, or even, I mean, marriage is fucking dying out too, is because we're being held to a standard where we got to be traditional men. We got to make X amount of money. We got to provide, and we got to do this, and we got to do that. You know what I mean? And then, like, I'm sure the feminists are going to have a whole world of wind shit to say against that. But, and to be an eligible bachelor, to have your options of like who you go on dates with or whatever, they're going to expect this. Yeah. You know what I mean? At the same time, though, they want equality too. So like, modern women are expecting more and more out of men, but they're giving less and less and less. So like that video is a perfect example. Those women couldn't get any help with their broken down vehicle. You know what I mean? It's like, we're getting PTSD behind this shit. You know what I mean? Like, dude, nobody wants to help anymore, and I see why now. Yeah,
but it almost leans to the fact that it's like these women, you want traditional men, you don't want to be traditional women.
Yes.
So you get mad when the traditional men start going away.
Yes.
You know, I'm like, it's kind of like with the whole Trump shit. This is what you voted for.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, this is what you're creating.
Yes.
You're creating less guys that actually
I just read an article that talks exactly about this. And the article was about this woman in New York City. She's a stockbroker. She works on Wall Street. And it was a true story. It was an article that she was having a hell of a time. And apparently a lot of women in those type of roles are having a hard time finding a relationship with anybody because no man wants, like, it's like, I can't seem to find a man. Like, nobody wants to be with me. What is the problem? And then so several people have spoken up on that article, and they were like, the reason is, and I think one of them was, there's a famous dude, he went to prison. He's a foreigner. I can't remember his name. He went to prison, like he got accused of some shit. Andrew Tate. I think he was one of the ones that also spoke in on it. Yeah.
He has a lot to say.
He has a lot to say. Yeah. He was one of the ones. Yeah. He's very outspoken like that. But the between all of them, the takeaway from it was, they were like, the problem is, you're playing a man's role, which is perfectly fine.
You turn into the woman, or you turn into the man that you want.
Yeah, you've
There's so much to bite into.
Yes, exactly. I'm like,
where am I going to hit this from?
You want a man to come in and be a man. He's like, well, a man's role is a man comes in and he takes care of his woman. He provides. He, that's their traditional man. But you've already filled all those spots.
Yeah, you're for the
So
role.
Yeah, exactly. What do you need a man for?
What do you need a man for? So like a man comes in and now it's like, I'm with another man. He's like, the image now is like, I am with another man. He's like, when you're on the Wall Street, when you're on the floor, you're cussing like a goddamn satyr because that's what they all do. You're just like one of the boys.
There's no like that damsel.
Yeah, you're one of the boys. And I bet you all of your coworkers treat you just like you're one of the boys. It's because they all view you as one of the boys.
Yeah, you filled that role. You filled the role of the man that you want.
And nothing against her. Hey man, she went out there and knocked it out of the park. But she's having to pay the price on it though.
Good for her on many levels, but then
Yes.
when she wants to be in the dating market, she amongst the men on the men's side, now we see that as competition.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just like another one of the boys.
Like, hey, men, we're always going to have an ego. We're always going to have
absolutely.
that sense of like, I got to do for my woman. You know what I mean? When you eliminate that, and it's exactly what you're saying. Now I'm in a relationship with another man.
Yeah. There's no role to fill.
It's not, and it's not financial because believe it or not, I'm like, a lot of men are okay with their woman making more money. A lot of men aren't, but a lot of men are okay with their woman making more money. It's not that she makes more money. It's the personality that it took to get to the point to where you're making that much money. Now you're competitive, right?
Oh yeah, usually
now you're argumentative. Now you're a little bit more fierce.
As much as they don't want to admit it, but you're more manly.
Yes, you're a little like the qualities that it took,
masculine.
The qualities that it took to acquire that, are masculine.
Yes,
and two men living in a household, it doesn't work. Or even worse,
somebody has to take a role.
Trying to raise children together with somebody like
but
that.
Even when it's two men that live in a household together, somebody has to take a role.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, are you going to be the more feminine one, or are you going to be the more masculine? Like two gay men, there's still a role there. Like they're not both the masculine.
One softer.
Yes, it's always like that. So her best bet probably would be to date a woman or to find a man that's weak. But she didn't want a man that's weak. She wants a man. Yeah, and she's not going to get that.
Yeah. Exactly.
She's not going to get that.
You can't both fill the same role.
Yes.
And the thing is, even though they don't see it, because a lot of them don't. Maybe some do. I'm not speaking 100% across the board, but majority speaking, I feel most women that are like that don't see that they're like that.
Yeah,
they don't get it.
It's funny because there was a video that popped up. Right,
they don't understand.
What was that tip? I'm sorry.
I was just saying like a yin to the yang type of deal.
Oh yeah.
I saw this video of this girl. Right, she's real big into fitness. So she's big, you know. Now I'm like real big where it's kind of like freakish, but she's like, I don't understand. She's like, I'm single.
Yeah.
You know, I'm attractive. Well, she was attractive. She's like, but guys don't want me. Guys, you know, I spend a lot of time on my body. I spend a lot of time, you know, working out. I spend a lot of time doing me. But they don't want me. They want the girl in the sundress. They want the girl. And then she kind of stops and has this realization. She's like, why would you want that? She's like, oh, I'm not feminine enough. Now it's like I filled that role. Yeah. You know, all of a sudden it's like, I see why they don't want me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm trying to be mad at them for not wanting a masculine woman when that's not what they want. I filled the role. I filled the homeboy role.
Yeah.
I filled the same role that they're filling. That's why they don't want me. They don't see me that way.
Let's go lift weights together.
Yeah.
You're my bro at that point. Yeah. But you know, I think if
have you ever had a friend like that, a woman friend? It's like one of the guys.
Oh yeah,
I have too, and it's like I never ever saw.
I would never see her
in any other light than one of the boys.
Amen.
She was exactly the same as all of the boys.
Yep. And I've been there too. And so you stop to think though, like she has submersed herself as being one of the boys so much. When the time comes that she wants something different, can she break away from that? So
that's hard.
Then you know, in older age, you know, oh man,
she would have to leave that.
She might have had boyfriends along the way. She might have had some serious relationships along the way, but she spent so much time proving that she can be equal with the guys and drink with the guys and hang with the boys and the fellas. Like, dude, that only lasts for so long. What happens when reality catches up to you? Depression hits.
Oh yeah,
because you're not feeling your biologically speaking, that was never meant to be you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was fun for a while, but what happens when everything fades? You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, like, what if we reach? I always think in terms of dominoes. Like it's a domino effect. Let's go back to the first domino. What caused all of this? What was the causation behind all of this? I think there came a point, especially in American society, Western society, where like this word equality became a virtue signal. Like equality was a thing. Like all of a sudden, like submissiveness is negative. Leadership is negative. We're supposed to be the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think this idea of equality has led to like it's dissolved so much in our roles as human beings.
There was this term that I remember about being too much of a man, too much of a go-getter, but they termed it to be bad. It was like toxic
masculinity.
Was it toxic? No, not masculinity. Well, there's part of it, but it was like the go-getter part of it, like a toxic, not masculinity. Like you were such a fucking go-getter that
you put your career first and everything fell.
Yeah, and they made it into this toxic thing. But it's
Yeah.
like, wait a second, but that's what everybody's always strived to be. It's like, oh, you're so much of a go-getter, you make me feel bad for not being a go-getter. And they turned it around like, oh, that's toxic.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember. There was a term for it. Not toxic masculinity. It was something else. It's close though. It's close to that. I think me and you have talked about that before.
What happens is when you start taking these terms and you start parading them on a moral high horse, like you ultimately reverse a lot of the shit that was in there that was keeping families together for centuries. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden now, if I try and take the leadership role, I'm controlling. You know what I mean? All of a sudden now, if I want to guide my family and I'm trying to provide for my family, I'm keeping the woman down. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So like I get it. Like maybe there was some sort of need for some sort of balance check on it, because for a long time, you know, there was a lot of struggle, but it tipped in the wrong direction at one point. You know,
Went too hard.
It went way too hard. So like now we're getting back to the video, what you were saying about the Facebook video. Getting back to that, I'm like, good. Now we're feeling the repercussions of that. Those women couldn't get any men to help them. At a gas station where there were the only two women, there was like 7 dudes around and nobody was willing to even offer help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, the face of equality doesn't look so good anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's kind of funny because I put myself in that video, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, because I do try to put myself in the places, because I was like,
I probably would have helped.
Why would, okay, you say that.
Would've.
But then if you think about it, it's like, if I go over there, we don't fucking need you.
Yeah.
We don't need you.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to get myself in a position where it's like, now you're talking shit to me because I'm just offering help.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
I don't think like that.
A lot of people do.
Now they probably would have, especially if we were like in Austin or Dallas, San Antonio. More than likely, they would have been like, "We're good. We don't need you, sir." That's probably what I. But I would not get a fuck. I still would have offered. At least I would have offered. That's me. I would have offered a hand.
Yeah, because to me, I'm more like, I'm not about to open that kind of worms.
Yeah. I would have offered a hand.
You know, because I'm like, ma'am,
it's on them if they decide not to take it.
Your wires are melting.
I think
because even another man probably would like. Fuck that it was women. If it was another man having a problem,
I would have helped him out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and he probably wouldn't have had a problem with it.
Yeah.
He'd probably accepted the help.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's that though. It's like, yes, you're right. A man would have accepted that. And I fully agree to that, to the point where I was like, hey, brother, you got him on the wrong side. He would have been like, oh, shit, my bad, dude. Thanks for catching that. To the point where it's like, now all of a sudden I'm coming up to the girls and...
Or I would have been like, hey, man, we don't even have to hook up another car. I've got a jump. I've got a little jump box.
Oh, fuck,
that motherfucker going.
Here comes this creep.
See, I do think that sometimes I am kind of scared. I'm like, I don't want to put her, and make her think that I'm trying to like this is more than help, because it's not more than help. It's I'm just helping.
And I don't even want to open those kind of worms.
And
you know what, Tiffany? Can I ask you?
Yes, of course.
What do you feel about it? Like, if you were at a gas station, I don't know if you've seen this video. There's this video that Rock put out. This woman's at a gas station. She needs her vehicle jumped. Another woman's recording a woman hooking up jumper cables from her car to hers, and she's like, look, there's a man over there.
A woman
there's a man over there.
Yeah.
There's a man over there, and none of them trying to help. But would it have been a problem to you if a man would have came over? Would you have viewed it like they were trying to hit on you or anything like that if he just tried to help you jump your vehicle?
I personally wouldn't have viewed it that way.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, hey, they're just trying to help somebody out.
But if he was like recently engaged, and he comes, oh, my bad.
Okay, so that's cool. Like, I'm glad we got her perspective, because that shows.
Ouch. I got that.
You got it.
I got
Okay,
that.
my bad.
Yes.
I'm glad she chimed in. I'm glad you chimed her in too, because that shows not all women think the same. But
It's awesome having Tiffany in because we can get that
she's
perspective.
awesome.
That
But-
perspective, yeah.
So that's great. That's great because it shows not all women think the same. And I get attacked for that pretty often on my posts. Because
Yes.
you know, man, dude, going through a divorce and going through all this and going through all that, like I start to feed into a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'm wondering like if I'm feeding into it too much.
Yes.
So when I get the opposition, I kind of welcome it. I welcome the opposition like, okay, maybe I'm being too much this way. Because there's a point where like the balance isn't healthy anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like what I like the fact that Tiffany chimed in because like that speaks on behalf of women that they don't all feel the same.
Yeah.
But like right now, one of the biggest things is like where women record themselves in the gym and they're wearing
Yes.
absolutely next to nothing.
Yeah.
You're seeing camel toe, you're seeing thongs sticking out, you're seeing nipples through the fucking
Yes.
sports bras and like very attractive bodies, right? And they film themselves with full on makeup and hair done, like doing this shit. And a lot of these things are going viral. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to catch men staring at them.
You think that's what they're doing?
I think yes,
You think- okay.
not always,
Okay.
but the stuff that goes viral, and especially when they rag on the men for doing it,
Yes. Yes.
when they rag on the men for doing it,
You're
It's
ragging
like-
a man for being a man.
I'm like, dude, how would you feel if
weird.
like we go in speedos? Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I'm not the most in shape motherfucker, right? But like, if
feel
I
you.
wear,
I feel you.
if I don't shave my ass, and if I go in a speedo with the fucking back part of it going up my fucking cheeks, right? Hair just sticking out, no shirt on. Like, if I go out there and I start recording myself, and they're looking at me,
Yeah.
like, motherfucker, we're not looking at you because you're attractive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a staged show,
Yeah.
and so, but it's almost like a prank being pulled on the public. So like, what ends up happening is it's turning into a women versus men thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're dogging out men for just being who we naturally instinctively are.
There's the video
Like-
that goes out when there's this new fucking outfit for men
Mm-hmm.
when they go to work out, and you can see dick and balls.
Uh-huh.
So this girl pulls up on this video. She's like, "Man, can you stop wearing this shit at the gym?" And this dude comes up. He's like, "Fuck you for body shaming me. Fuck you. How dare you?
Nice.
How dare you make me feel uncomfortable just trying to be my natural self at the gym?"
Yeah.
It's like, I wear this not because I want you to fucking look at me, because I feel comfortable in it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny because it's like, all right, there's the double standard right there.
Exactly.
You can clearly see my fucking dick and balls in this
Yeah.
fucking Speedo.
In my gray sweats.
Working out. And it's funny because you say that, you know, they bring that shit up, and I'm like, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Now it's gray. It's a gray sweater season. Gray, you know,
gray sweats.
Gray sweatpants.
gray sweatpants season. And I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you for the double standard.
Yeah. Like, it's okay for them to do it.
Yes.
So this is what I'm saying. Like, going back to like having Tiffany chime in, that I think that's cool
Oh, it's stuck.
because it shows not everybody's the same. But like now, going even further back, going to those girls at the gas station. You know what I mean? Now, because it's social media being the biggest drive behind this.
Oh, yeah.
It's becoming a societal thing where like we can't even offer help. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the opinion or the perspective Tiffany just shined, like, no, I wouldn't take it that way. You know what I mean? Like, I might be wrong, but social media has put it in my head that she's 1 out of 100 that feel that way.
Yes.
And I might be wrong, and I probably am.
No,
maybe,
yeah.
maybe it's 50-50. Maybe 50% of the women would feel how Tiffany felt, and 50% of the women are going to think like, I'm using that opportunity to like try and get laid. You know what I mean? And it's not, oh, can I get your number? Oh, maybe I can set it up a date, or maybe we can go for coffee. No, it goes straight to sex. You
Yes.
see what I mean?
Oh,
and so
yeah.
and so like that's what social media has driven it to. So like now, like for example, I fought against this with people on my Facebook. I fought against this. Have y'all heard about this bear versus a man in the woods idea?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They
So,
would
like-
choose the bear.
Dude, it took off like wildfire from 1 month to the next. I remember when I heard it at first, I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. But turns out like a couple weeks before, I don't know who originally posted it, but it just took off. And like all the feminist groups just grabbed onto it.
Yeah.
And like, I guess now, thanks to social media, and I'm not sure if it's reality or not, like I don't even know how to distinguish it anymore. Do most women feel like they're more safe with a bear in the wilderness than a man?
What they
but
did
that's
is,
what they paint it to be.
That's what they paint it to be. But
Yeah.
you got to think about when you said feminist.
Yeah.
They paint themselves. They make that their identity.
Yeah.
You know, this is what I'm gonna. This is the fucking hill I'm gonna die on.
And this is where I'm talking about where the tip has scaled in the wrong fucking way.
Yes.
So like maybe in the 50s where women couldn't go to school and couldn't fucking vote and couldn't have an opinion and they were just housewives. That was extreme.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so like there came a point where like, okay, we have to adjust this because you know they deserve more than that. I agreed. Like if we were to take that household in the 40s and 50s, like I would agree. Like that's not the way we should treat our women. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our wives, especially the mother of our children. But now it's gone. We've taken from trying to equalize that a little bit better all the way in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Now we're creeps. Now we're
But it's like I said, it's just taking the whole identity of it. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
You're taking that and making it part of your part of your persona.
Yeah.
Because all right, I'm sorry that you fucking feel so offended. All these guys want to hit on you, right?
Yeah.
But you're like the fucking Ferrari going down the street. Everybody wants to ride. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're so fucking hot that you're being hit on.
Yeah.
God damn it. I wish I would be like, hey, damn, bro, hey, sir, however the fuck, you're so hot, I'd like to fuck you. And I'm like, oh, well, I appreciate it, but I'm married.
Yeah.
You know, but thanks. It's very flattering.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm like, oh my God, stop. I'm not going to sling my dick at you.
Yeah.
I never
That's the
really
part-
thought about that. That's really a fucking weird position to be
It
in.
is a weird position to be in. I'm like, you're hot enough that these guys want to, they want to hit on you.
Yeah.
I'm
So
so-
every your reaction to every guy is like, fuck, here comes another motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, okay.
In my
I can-
attempt to keep it neutral,
Uh-huh.
like you just said, like I'm married. You know what I mean? Most women would be like, oh, okay. Even if they were trying to like approach you that way.
There's
you know what
some that it turns them on.
But men, and this is and this I think this also boils down to biologically speaking, just by nature, we're hunters.
Yeah.
But like when a woman says the same thing, now I'm sticking up for the women. Women, now I'm sticking up for y'all. They put up with a lot more bullshit than we do.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, man, there's like I've heard some stories where I'm like, what the fuck? Like for real, like it like there's predators out there.
Oh yeah.
That we don't get to see. You know what I mean? Like we're not exposed to that.
Yeah.
But-
But to a point we can relate.
Is he still centered?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the point because I forgot I lost my train of thought. Is that we go out for that because let's say you as a guy, you're not getting approached all the time.
Yeah.
I can say that to any guy that comes in and sits in that chair or sits in this chair. We're not getting fucking
And
pursued.
in my 20 years of drinking, I've never had my ass grabbed or my dick grabbed.
yeah, never.
What?
You know,
Really?
you know that happens to
You
women.
never had your ass
That
grabbed?
happens to women.
I've had my ass grabbed
You've had your ass grabbed?
Yes.
Damn it, bro.
by women, and I'm like,
Maybe
and
I need to hit the gym.
No,
more. I don't know.
it scared the fucking like. I was like, what the fuck? And then you look off, and there's like a
Well,
girl.
I'll say this.
I'm proud to say the same thing, but
was a guy?
No.
Oh.
Well, you know, I have been hit on by gay guys, so I go.
I have
give that.
too, and I felt weird as
Yeah.
fuck. I
Which-
felt weird
yeah.
as fuck.
My first thing is like, look, man, I am flattered because it's flattering.
Yeah.
It is flattering, whether it be guys or girls. But
Yeah.
I'm like, look, I'm flattered, but I'm married.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And that's all because I'm never.
and he's
I've-
like, that's okay.
yeah,
But at a
it's-
certain point,
I don't care.
at a certain point, the buck stops. Like we can't really be victimized that way like a woman can. You know what I mean?
It's
Yeah.
a different.
So, like, I
I'm sure it's a
get
different
it.
feeling for a woman than
Uh-huh.
it is for a guy. I'm sure I took it way different.
they take it
having
10
my
times.
ass grabbed versus
Yeah.
a woman having her
10
ass grabbed.
times worse.
Yeah, it's
like
different.
my wife says all the time, I've never get hit on. I was like, shut
Tiffany?
the fuck up.
Yes.
How do you feel? I mean, is it very like
Yes, Tiffany, please tell us.
if a guy grabs your ass, is it like you're like this crazy big ass crowd at a concert, guy grabs your ass, is it like a what the fuck?
Well,
yeah.
I have had that incident happen to me because I was a shot girl at one point, and
Shot collar.
shot caller. Okay. No, so I mean, and when it happened, I mean, my first reaction is I want to like hit a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, I take offense to it, but at the same time, I know what I'm doing. I know that people are drinking, and it's gonna happen.
It's a situation.
It's the situation that I
Okay.
put myself in.
Now take that same position.
And we take it as a compliment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because that never happens to us.
Yeah.
Never happens to a guy.
I was like,
the times that it happened is so far.
I was like,
few
pop
in
my
between
collar
It's
and
true,
shit.
man. Like,
that you're just like, yo, what's up, man? I got hit on.
I
What's
got
up?
it. I got it.
But it's because we.
I don't know what it is.
We fit different roles. You know what I mean? Like for that to happen to us, it's because we're.
It doesn't happen often.
there was a comedian.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't happen at
There
all.
was a comedian that was comparing that to getting a free pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're telling me you're giving my favorite double pepperoni pizza and it
When-
just falls in my lap, and I didn't even have to call them; they called me to give it
Damn, that's the shit, huh?
to me. You're like, fuck
Yeah.
yeah. Like I had a great day. You know what I
Fuck
mean?
yeah.
Like,
Like it's a boost for
when
you
a
guys.
woman
Yes.
when a woman
Yeah.
posts single as fuck and a guy posts single as fuck, there's two totally different reactions.
Yeah.
Oh,
two
yeah.
totally different reactions.
But see,
from the two.
the difference in reactions though is because it doesn't matter what, like on women, it doesn't matter what part of life that you're in that happens to. Okay. Versus a guy.
Yeah.
Whether we got nothing or millions. The millions is the guy that's got the fucking golden bucket, the golden spoon in their mouth. Yeah, they get it all the time.
Yeah.
You know, but everyone else that falls below, you know, doesn't get that.
So-
but the girls across the board do.
Okay.
So we can't sit there and be like, you know, like they get hit on all the time. The few and far between times that it happened, I'm just like, yeah, fuck yeah, I still got it.
Right, baby.
Still got it, baby.
So let's flip it on its ass again. Let's go the other direction.
Yes.
So okay.
I'm drunk.
So I was with one girl. I was with one girl for 9 years. We were married for 2 years. Right? She's the mother of my child, my only kid. So like, I met her September of 2015. Right? Okay.
God damn, you remember that?
Yeah, September of 2015. And so prior to this, I had gone from the time I was 16 from serious relationship to serious relationship to serious relationship. And it's going to get back to flipping on its ass here in a second.
Okay.
And I got tired of it. At one point, I decided to swear off relationships and I was just going to have fun, man. I spent 5 years single. At one point, I was in a motorcycle club. Like, I was going bar hopping and, you know, I had my whole phase, man. I was putting my dick in a lot of different shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
So, like, anyways, I realized now, fast forward, I met Brandy. We had a kid. We had a family. I was a devoted husband and father. And, you know, unfortunately, a divorce happened. And now I'm hit with the dating scene again. I'm going to tell you something, man. It's way different than it was 10 years ago. It's just not the same.
Can you
Literally,
elaborate?
everybody
here we
says
go.
that
Here
is
we go.
single.
Here we go. So this thing about hitting on women and men getting hit on, and I see it because it's the world isn't the same it was 10 years ago. It's I got thrown back into a world where I thought I was going to be a pro again.
Yeah.
And I'm a novice now. Like I don't know how to approach this world anymore. So like men don't get hit on like women get hit on. Women get hit on almost in like to a point to where they can't even handle it.
It's
To a point where
constantly.
like they don't even want to open up their messenger anymore on Facebook.
It's that
they're
bad.
sick of it, right?
Yeah.
So like what ends up happening now, and I made a post about this too, and I made it jokingly. I'm like, man, I used to only shoot for fours, and I would get dates all the time. I go, now these fours think that they're tens, and I can't get a single fucking date.
Yes, because these motherfuckers out there boosting them up.
Yeah.
The world has flipped on its ass now.
Yeah.
So now I can't remember who I read it on Facebook on, but
You can hang that
he
cord
explained
up.
it. He explained it this way, bro. He explained it like this. He goes, women want the tall guy with the beard that makes a lot of money, that does this.
They want the 1%ers.
They want the guys in the top 1%. Yeah. So it's funneled upwards. So now you got the top 1% of guys, and again, social media I think is the biggest player in this whole fucking
Yes.
thing.
Oh, yes.
So like now like the top 1% has his fucking options galore.
Yes.
The guys that'll actually go to work, come home, take care of the family, be loyal to one chick, are getting overlooked because they can't compete against that. But social media gives everybody a fucking platform now.
Yes.
So they're being silenced.
Hence the What to Do podcast.
So what's happening essentially is women are giving up. Women are giving up on the good men to get used by the top 1%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And
now
they're gonna use the fuck out of them too.
now the top
Oh,
1% realizes like, oh shit, I can get 20 dates in a fucking week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While the guy that's working fucking 80 hours a week to provide, you know what I mean? He's not on social media. He doesn't have enough time to be in the gym. He's not metrosexual. He doesn't have the best iron pressed on clothes. Like he can't provide that kind of platform. Like the guy that can actually give this woman a good life, she's going to completely overlook him,
Yep.
go to the 1%, get fucked a
Get
couple
shit
times
on.
and forgotten about.
Yeah.
Which is funny because you're right. Because they're sitting there trying to compete for the 1%ers, not knowing that, bitch, you're competing against the 1% of you.
Yeah.
Because those dudes don't want you. They want the 1% of the ones they can pull.
But their heads are inflated at that point.
Exactly.
Like there is no more like now every woman isn't mediocre. Now every woman is a goddess. Now, like, dude, I've seen more times than I can count. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to shit on somebody that's in this position, but like I've seen more times than I can count. Like a job that's going nowhere. You know, she's been left by numerous men, or has left numerous men, has accumulated children over throughout her span of life. You know what I mean? She's getting older, and she still thinks like,
I'm a 10.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so like, hey man, the one guy that's willing to provide for you, you don't give him a chance? Like, why? Because she has hundreds of inboxes on social media feeding that ego. See that now we're looking at a society that feminine ego is a real thing now.
Yes.
It used to be like
definitely.
it used to be that only men really had that kind of ego. Now there's such a thing as a feminine ego. And like you can't get past that, man.
Yeah.
You can't get
You're
past
willing
that.
to pass up the dude that can provide you something for that 1%er.
Yeah.
That has all the options he could possibly want.
Yeah.
You know, and it's you're chasing the fantasy when reality is sitting right there.
Yeah.
He's right. He's the man that can provide.
Yeah.
He works his 9 to 5. Yeah, okay, maybe he works a little bit too much. You know, but the other guy, he's like, well, I'm kind of done with you. I'm on to the next one.
Exactly.
You know.
So the thing is, like, when women now ask on social media just open questions on her fucking posts, like where all the good men are at, I always put on there somewhere in your inbox getting like being left on red.
Check that friend zone.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, dude. Like it used to be where like a 5 dated a 5. It used to be where like a 4 dated a 4, a 6 dated an 8, and 8 dated a 6. No, nowadays every woman deserves a man that's a 10. He needs to have a career. He needs to be baby mama drama free. He has to be 6 foot tall, and that's the way it is. That's just the way it is. Like you can't. It's such a driving force. Like you can't. It's a wave in the ocean. You can't fight it no more.
I built my life, you know, me and my wife. I built it from nothing. You know, so she was with me from fucking nothing. And the problem that I'm finding nowadays, man, and of course, Tiffany, you can chime in on this whenever you want.
Okay.
But it's kind of these girls, they don't want to mess with somebody who's trying to build something. You know, I heard this one thing, and I don't agree with it, but sometimes it kind of makes sense. You know, it's like you don't want the guy who's up and coming.
Yeah.
You want the guy that's already built. He's already built his nest. He's already built his castle. You want to move in.
Yeah.
Is what you want to do.
Exactly.
You know, so I'm very fortunate. And I'll say I'm very fortunate that me and my wife, we built the life together.
Yes.
You know, but we started young. You know, and there was a lot of compromise. There was a lot of shit, and I'm sure, like I know she says she doesn't, but I'm sure there's shit in her inbox.
Yeah.
That comes a lot because of the life that we built. Kind of accumulates it. It shows that we have more. You know what I mean? And she's got her salon. I got my business. You know, and I'm only saying this because there's been people that came around and be like, hold on a second. What makes you think you can squeeze in between the middle of this? This is 20 years in the making.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
You know, you just can't fucking jump in because, hey, I pay the bills and I give, you know, there's a lot of leeway that comes here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, you can't just move in. The fuck? And I feel like that's the problem. The problem nowadays is a lot of people just
They want the finished product.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Without
because
No work.
No guy would be either be like, well, hold on, what do you bring to the table? You know, it is of course, Tiffany. Of course, this is just a guy's perspective. You know, I could be coming from your end. You know, it's completely different because you could probably be like, oh, these fucking dudes. You know what I mean? You know, but the fact of the matter is it on this side, on this, and of course, I'm not speaking for myself. I'm speaking about other people that I've seen and talked to. That it's a whole fucking it's just different. It's a whole different animal.
Yeah.
You know, being in your late 20s up to your 40s, stuff like that, trying to start a family, trying to start from the bottom up, that it is fucking hard.
Yeah.
It is fucking hard. Now, I'm not saying that women don't have it hard.
Dude, especially building a relationship, a marriage, it's work.
Oh, it's fucking work. Like you got
work.
married how many years ago? 2 years now?
2 years now.
So you went
It'll be
through,
2 years in June, actually.
Yeah. I feel, in my opinion, of course, I can be completely wrong. You went through all the bullshit. You got to be with somebody where it's like, we were
together.
done.
We were together 5 years before we
5
got
years.
married.
But still, even then, I mean, you're still in your 40s. You're still in your 30s, late 30s.
At the
right?
time.
It's like you've been through the bullshit. You've gone through the bullshit. There's no trying to figure somebody out. You found somebody who's done with the shit. You know, you both can come together and be like, look, this is
we
the
knew
life
what we
that I want to
want.
build.
We knew exactly what we want. Both of us did.
Yeah.
We both knew. It was crazy.
Yeah.
We both were at a point in our lives where we knew exactly what the fuck we want. And then we met each other. And it was just like instantaneous. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It was like
You passed all the bullshit.
We
all the high school bullshit.
We spent like one day together and we were done with everybody else.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to, like, it was, I don't know how to explain that.
That's amazing.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I still remember her kind of mentioning you.
right?
She was like,
This dude is
Oh,
not
yeah,
crazy.
I knew
Tiffany's
she was,
my wife's sister.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just
Very-
So I mean,
Sister-in-law.
just
Sorry.
I know on my end
my
from
sister,
what
too.
I saw. Yeah, it's my sister. I mean, my brother. But yeah, I saw it because I knew she was like, you know what? I'm just tired of all. She was tired of bullshit.
Yeah.
But she came across him and she was like, you know, things are
That was
good.
just that, man. When
Everything
you,
fit.
yeah. When you pass
That's
all
wonderful,
the
man.
bullshit, man. All the bullshit. And that's where I feel like you guys were at. And I'm like, this is going to last. Because you're past the bullshit. You're past the fucking, this is what I like, what I don't like. This is what I'm willing to settle with. This is what I'm not willing to settle with.
Yeah.
You know, you passed all that. You know, me and my wife at a younger age, we're just fucking like high school sweethearts, bro. That's what we are.
Yeah.
And it's just
And
like,
that's rare.
oh,
Yeah.
That
it's
is so rare.
I had no idea how rare that was.
Very rare.
Super
Where it's
rare.
just like, Lou, I don't tell her what to do. I don't fucking keep track of her. Because I'm like, if I ever come to the point where I feel like I got to question
You
what you're
mentioned
doing.
that one time, yeah.
You know, that I don't want to be with you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I'm to the point where I don't want to deal with other people's bullshit.
Yeah.
I know you, you know me. You know, it's kind of weird. It is weird. She's my best friend. You know, behind everybody else. If I got any questions, she's the first one that I run to. You know, I was like, hey, this is what's happening, blah, blah, blah. And she's not one to fucking be like, well, let me tell you what you want to hear. No, she's raw. Just fucking straight up, look, this is what it is. That's fucking
also
stupid.
rare.
Oh, it's so rare.
Most people were, it don't matter if you've been with them for 5, 10, 15 years, they're going to tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, if you found someone that is not a yes man, bro,
So
because
rare.
to me,
we talked about that last.
to me, a yes man
sure
is
did.
an enabler.
Exactly.
To me, a yes
Yes.
man is an enabler. And, you know, in my 40 years of life so far, I've never seen something good come out of surrounding yourself with enablers.
Yes.
Like, to me, get the fuck away from me, man. Like,
Yeah,
I don't say it, but
they don't
in my
bring
mind,
nothing to you.
Like, there's been times, bro, where like I've been going through some shit and I just decided to go out to the bar and I run into buddies, right? And we're sitting, getting drunk, fucking drinking, and we start talking about life, and we start talking about each other's problems. Oh yeah, man, fuck that bit, and like I feel like they're catering to me. The moment I get that instinct, like you're catering to me, like
It turns you
you
off.
have because I'm a respectful dude, I'm gonna let you speak. Like, I'm not gonna shut you down. I'm not gonna be a dick. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But now I'm gonna find the first exit. Like, I'm done. I'm done. Because I don't want somebody that's gonna tell me everything I did right. I know what I did right. That's why I did it. Is because I knew it was right.
Yeah.
Like, I need somebody who's gonna tell me like where I fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if I knew I was fucking up, I wouldn't have done it.
Exactly.
So when you surround yourself with these people that are just making you feel good,
Yeah.
what are you learning from them?
I
You're not learning anything from them. To me, that's a cancer, bro. Like, that's the quickest way to failure.
can I hold you up for a second? Like, so like I have several friends in my life that are like, I only have a few that are like lifelong friends.
Yeah.
And I have one right now, and it's like, dude, been friends with him forever, but he's fucking up. And I've always told him, hey, man, I've always called him on his shit.
Mm-hmm.
But just here recently, I didn't call him on his shit because I kind of felt like, dude, how many times do I got to keep?
It's talking to a wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I love you, bro, but I'm not your,
You're not his dad.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it kind of hurts me because I feel like I need to let you know what you did wrong. But at the same time, it's like, do I really fucking need to let you know again what you fucking did wrong again?
No, this is
Like-
the thing, man. This
like
is the
it
thing.
fucking-
So like
it kind of kills me in a way, you know, like fuck, man.
kind of in comparison, I know it's not the right thing to compare it to. I might be doing apples to oranges, right? But and in a lot of ways, it might be kind of the same thing too. But like recently, like I've been having to get onto my kid about like his like watching his footprints in the house. Like if you change he always leaves his clothes on the floor. Or if he eats, he always leaves his dish. So like I'm working on that. Bro, I'll tell this kid 3, 4, 5 times. Then he comes back home a week later, because he's with me a week and a week off. Anyways, it's been an ongoing thing, dude. Like, and I've realized sometimes, have you ever caught yourself like with your children? Like, shit, I used to be just like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
You see yourself.
You see yourself in your children,
Yeah.
right? And so like I start to realize like, oh shit, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. But it's a repetition and a repetition.
You got to
and a
keep
repetition.
going.
Yeah.
Bro, there's lessons that my dad tried to teach me from the time I could walk, probably till I was a grown ass man. You know what I mean? But finally I got it. Like eventually life teaches you. And you look back on the lessons and you're like, oh shit, my dad's been telling me that my whole life. Yeah. So what I'm saying is I'm trying to relate it to what you're saying.
Right.
Like I know it sucks, like, oh shit, like I've already told him 1,000 times, bro. But like in the end, it might not be a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, maybe 10 years from now, your friend's gonna look back and be like, fuck, Abraham's been telling me this whole fucking time, and eventually it's gonna click.
But I'm not being an enabler, like what we were talking about before.
No, you don't
that,
want to
though.
be an enabler.
That's what
no,
I'm. That's
yeah.
what. Yeah. So it's like,
Because
what am I? Like, where is that?
You'll never see it.
Where is that? Where is that line at? I don't. I like.
What
I'm,
if you're the
It's
only
frustrating.
person in his corner telling him that? What if nobody else?
Yeah, that's
There's
true,
not
too.
mom, there's not dad, there's not brother, sister that has the balls to tell him you're fucking up.
But there's a cutoff. Your kid
You think
hasn't
so?
reached that cutoff. Can't tell a 40-year-old man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At some
You're
point,
just frustrated it hasn't clicked
at
yet.
some point you got to cut them off. And I get what you're saying because I do
Yeah.
with my kids all the time. I'm like, I see exactly what I see in them. You know what I mean?
There is a difference between. That's what I'm saying. I'm probably comparing oranges to apples here. I know it's probably not the same thing, but sometimes when lessons are fresh, you're gonna make you're gonna make that same mistake a couple times over
Of
and over.
course,
and over.
yeah. But I expect
even
that
as a 40-year-old man.
I expect that. I expect that out of a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
But over 20 years.
You know what I mean? I don't expect that of a 40-year-old.
Yeah.
Where it's like, well, we talked about this. You know, it's just like at some point. Now, I'm not saying he's a good friend of yours, right? And I've had good friends of mine where it's to a point where it's like, I can't tell you anything. You're not gonna get this. You're not understanding. You're gonna keep up with your same old bullshit. I have to be at a point where it's like you are who you are.
And you know what? You're right, bro, because that's what led to my divorce.
Yeah.
Like, hey, dude, you're not gonna fucking listen to me.
Yeah.
Like
You are who you are.
You're doomed to keep repeating this and repeating this and repeating this and repeating this, and it's just like you're never gonna fucking learn. And that's 9 years in the fucking making. You know what I mean? Like, I've never been the enabling type.
At some point, you got to come to realization. There's like the old saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah, that is true.
Where it's just like, look,
That's true.
I can sit here and beat my brains until I'm done.
So
But
now
you're not going to be done.
Don't
So
beat
now
a dead
the question
horse.
is, now the question is, when is that cutoff point? You know
That's
what I mean?
the point where it starts to be a
For some
detriment to
people,
yourself.
Might be, and it's always going to be different between two different people. Like, is it going to be here, here, or here? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but at that point, it doesn't matter about the person.
yeah.
It matters about you. At what point are you done?
Yeah.
Where it's like I can't continue to keep doing this
Yeah.
because it's a detriment to me.
Yeah. It's like dealing with an addict too.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Like
shit.
an addict. An
Damn.
addict.
Very true.
An
That took
addict,
it
you can
somewhere
tell
else,
them
yeah.
and tell them and tell them. And I've dealt with addicts, bro. You can tell them, and bro, you can make the most sense in the world. You can put all the fucking perfect examples in front of them.
They'll never
Look
get
at
it.
what's happening. They're never gonna until they want. to get it.
Exactly.
So they want
Exactly.
to.
And
want
at
to
some
get it.
times, like I tell over and over again, you have to let them hit bottom.
The bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You have to let they don't see
That's the
bottom.
hardest part. as a friend or as a family
It's hard to
member,
see that.
it's to let them fall. Like, fuck, man, I know I can help you, but I can't.
See,
I gotta let you
You
go.
can't though until they want the help.
Yeah.
yeah.
And really, that is the
My,
help.
my
is
wife
you
always
letting them
tells
get to
me.
that point.
This is my wife tells me all the time. Because when I mean, I brought these issues up to her. This is my wife, my best friend, and she's like, "You can't lead a horse to water."
Yeah. I mean, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly what she
I
says
see
every
it
time.
with my kids all the time, bro.
I mean, right? I'm sorry, I said that wrong.
Yeah.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force them to drink. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
and I see it with my kids all the time because she's like, "You're not gonna tell them they're gonna hurt themselves." So I'm like, "I already did. You gotta let it play out."
Mm-hmm.
When they're sitting there and they're hammering something, it's like I already told them to watch out. But I was like, it's like I can't tell him that the fire's hot
The lesson's
because he
gonna
doesn't know
learn.
what hot means.
Yeah.
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 Hot means it's going to burn you. Leave them alone.
They've got to understand
Yeah.
what that heat is.
That trial and error.
The only reason I know this because I'm like, okay, hey, don't touch those two wires together. You can electrocute yourself. I never understood that.
Have you ever electrocuted yourself?
Fuck yes.
Goddamn right. You won't do it again, right?
I tell you one thing, I'll never do it again.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, hey, yo, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm sitting there watching.
Oh.
I was like, hey, but there's no concept of the consequences. There's no concept of that.
You
That's how
know,
it happens.
at our job, these pump jacks that we fuck with, you know, they come in with high power.
Oh yeah.
You know, so we're always going in there. If something's wrong, I'm always checking everything. Like, it's not really my job, but it is my job. But I'm always checking everything, making sure. But the very first time I ever did it, I didn't kill the fucking power to it. I didn't pull the disconnect.
Oh,
So I'm in there checking just with full power coming in.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've done that plenty of times.
Dumbass. You know, part of it was, this is really my job to do this. The other part of it is, I'm in a hurry because I have like 1,000 other fucking things to do. So I'm just trying to see what the fuck's wrong with this one so I can keep going to the next one. You know, complacency.
Yeah.
And I fucking, oh my God. I like, oh, fuck. Fuck. Luckily, I was able to throw down, let go, because I've heard stories of people that
You can't.
I've heard
your muscles constrict
Yeah.
and you can't let it go.
I've heard people that couldn't let go. Yeah.
Okay, there's the difference there.
Was it a 410 coming in?
440.
440 coming in.
Okay, I'm more scared of 110 than I am of 440.
Because it'll throw you back.
So yeah, 230 or 220 or 230 and 440 will blow your hand away. 210 will not.
It'll
210
fry you,
Well, it's enough to where it contracts the muscles
but it can't throw you back.
and it can't throw you back. It will not throw you back.
So I was probably blessed.
You're way better off
it was
because I've been
440.
blown away by 480.
That's probably why I was able to throw loose.
Exactly. 480. I've touched. I'm like,
I've heard that.
boom, blow my hand
I've
back.
heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
I'm more scared of residential shit than anything else because you don't see it. Like, there's plenty of videos, right? You're watching this guy, he's moving scaffolding, and he hits the fucking light, he hits one of the shits up on top. Well, it's enough to send 220 or 210, or I'm sorry, 110 through the scaffolding, and he's holding on to it. You just think he's standing there, but he's literally being electrocuted to death. He's not. He can't let go.
That's fucking wild, dude.
Fuck yeah, it's absolutely mind blowing.
Crazy,
But you
dude.
see people get hit by either 230 or 480 is what we fuck with, and you see they get blown away, but they survive.
Yeah.
You know, but it's those motherfuckers.
It
you
probably
see
hurts
like
like a motherfucker.
oh, it hurts like a mother. Oh yeah.
My friend Marshall, he used to work for a survey. You know what? Matter of fact, Marshall, I need to put him on the board. I love the shit out of that guy. I haven't talked to him in a while. He used to work for a survey company, and so, you know, he's got a guy like miles down with the whole you know, the whole prism and all that shit, where he's looking down this glass, and he's pushing up this pole, and it's got a little prism at the top of it too, and it's. I went to go visit in the hospital after he got electrocuted, right? So I'm visiting him in the
I used to
hospital.
laugh about it, but it's fucking. I've been there.
What's crazy is he was like, Abraham, because this is me in the hospital talking to him after the incident happened. He was like, I'm standing there waiting for them to give me the signal to raise the fucking pole up. And he was like, and I'm reading this label. He was like, because it's just me out there in the weeds, you know, on the side of the highway. And I'm reading this label and it says, always look up before raising.
Always look up before what?
Raising.
Okay. The
And he
flag.
was, the pole.
The pole.
The pole has this prism on it, and the guy like several miles down has a sight glass, and he's looking down for that prism.
Oh, for surveying.
For surveying, yeah. He was like, I'm reading this fucking label that says always look up before raising. I didn't I'm reading the fucking label, and I still just fucking raised the fucking pole without looking up. You know, it's just like,
It sneaks you almost.
it's just, I just raised it and boom, hit a high wire off the side of the highway.
Shit.
Off the side of the highway. and fucking electrocuted him, knocked him out.
Wow.
He had a
That's
hole.
a fucking story.
He had a hole. He had a hole in his big toe where the electricity exited.
Yeah.
I was doing this job in fucking Robert Lee, same thing, a hole, but it was his thumbs, dude. And like, I didn't catch, man, dude, the homeowner had it was like a fucking 50-acre ranch, man. And so I go do this house in Robert Lee, and I'm Springfield. Anyways, long story short, I took a rig out there that wasn't self-powered. My other rig has a self-generator. So I've learned to connect the two hots in the ground to get power to my rig.
Okay.
So I fuck with the breaker boxes all the time. And he sees me fucking with it, and like he critiques me, and I'm like, oh, okay. And like when I get critiques, I give him due weight. Like I got something to learn here, and he was talking. It turned into a whole conversation, man. I can babble, right? So like we were just talking, bro. That was like my third day on the job, and this dude has a house where within walking distance. So like 4 or 5 times a day, this guy's coming to the house, and I never noticed it. He's talking to me, and he's telling me, yeah, dude, because you know this can happen, that can happen. He goes, look at this, and he shows me his thumbs, bro. he had gotten hit like with some big power too,
Yeah.
and it busted his thumbs wide open. Well, he said this was in the 80s in California. He goes, there was a doctor at the time that was doing this it was his creation about getting toes and like using them as
For his
fingers.
thumbs, yeah.
Dude,
Oh shit.
this guy
I've heard
had
of
been
this
talking
before.
to me. This guy had been talking to me for like 3 or 4 days, coming in and like, bro, we've been chopping it up already. I never realized it. When he did this, bro,
Those are
he
his
had his
toes.
2 toes on his fucking finger.
Shout out to Rhino, bro.
I was
he's
like,
got-
oh my God, dude. And sure enough, when he made me pay attention, I looked at him. They weren't normal fucking thumbs, bro. These things were like massive. And he goes, you know the one thing that
strong hand.
You know the one thing he goes, you know the one thing that distinguishes us from monkeys is the opposable thumbs.
Yeah.
He goes, so the doctor didn't want me to go the rest of my, because his thumbs, the original
Blown
ones were blown off. There was no repairing them. There was no repairing them. They exploded, bro, bones and all. And so like, he goes, the doctor didn't want me to leave me handicapped because like I would basically be a monkey, like no fucking posable thumb.
Can't grab nothing, yeah.
So he found a way to make both of his toes from his feet work as posable thumbs on his hand.
I wonder how he walked.
And this was in Robert Lee, bro. If you ever meet a rancher out in Robert Lee and he has extremely big fucking thumbs, that's him. Like
Maybe
dude,
they like made his toes spread farther.
and you could see it on the
You know what I mean?
you know the nail?
Yeah.
Like the base of it was really
It's
fucking
wide.
wide.
It's real wide.
And that's what gave it away. Like, holy shit, dude, those are fucking toes, bro. Like,
Rhino, bro, he's got one thumb that's wide as fuck.
Does he really?
Yeah.
That's just
it's a
natural?
toe. Yeah, it's natural.
no, this dude had his fucking
He's gonna listen
toes.
to it. He's like, fuck you guys.
Have you ever seen there's a I just saw it the other day. There's a fucking somebody posted this meme and it's like, if you have thumbs like this, don't talk to me. And it's like a picture and then it's another guy holding a screenshot of that with his thumb and another guy holding a screenshot with his thumb and it just keeps going and going and you see like 10 guys with the same exact fucking thumb and it's like
my
this
God.
wide ass fucking thumb, like almost like toes. I was like,
That's
holy
funny.
shit. But
Well,
yeah, dude,
since we got on that, man, I don't know how we got the toes.
How did we get
We
there?
went from femininity
It
to
was Ross.
my homeboy who blew off his fucking.
Blew off-
he didn't blow him off, but he blew
Yeah.
holes through his big
But
toes.
you said something about your trailer not being powered and the other one's not.
Yeah.
The compressors. I see some of your posts, man,
Uh-huh.
and I don't reach out because I'm just like, it's not my place.
Yeah.
But bro, there was one about a compressor you were getting rid of,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, should I chime in? I could have got that bitch running.
Which one?
It was a couple years ago. I guess what I'm trying to get at
I've learned
is,
some tricks since then, though.
yeah, don't get rid of. Like I see some of your
Don't
posts
get rid of
like,
the compressors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're rebuildable.
Oh yeah,
The pumps?
The pumps are too.
the
I don't
pumps,
know
the
how to rebuild
motors.
the pump.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm kind of trying to
So-
get at. Is like
They're all rebuildable.
reach out to me. It was like, hey, bro, do you know anything about this? Because chances are I probably do.
So check this out. I ran across a compressor, and like I know there's going to be people listening to this. So I'm going to bore people for a second, but just to get past the boring part.
Yeah.
I ran across this deal on Swap, and so it was this compressor, and it had a diesel motor on it. It was a compressor R series.
Okay.
And it was a Yanmar from Japan diesel fucking compressor. Yeah. The dude was working at, I think, Halliburton,
Okay.
And like their shop, you know, where they like the mechanics would work on the trucks, they would come in and out and they'd ship them back out to the fields. So it was just like the mechanic shop of Halliburton.
Yeah.
So like he was in charge of all that shit. And so he said one time he was coming into the shop and there was a trailer backed up and these guys were throwing all the shit into the fucking trailer. He's like, what the fuck are y'all doing? He grabbed that compressor off the trailer and he was just, what they were going to dispose of as trash, it was going to replace with new shit. Mm-hmm. He grabbed that compressor and threw it in the back of his truck. No idea what it's worth, right? And so I find it on Swap and Sell. He's offering it with those metal big-ass toolboxes that you can lift with a pallet jack.
Oh, yeah.
He's offering that and the compressor for $800. So naturally, I need those kinds of compressors for my rig. I look it up on fucking Google. I look up the same year it was made and model and everything, brand new. I couldn't believe what it was worth, bro. That motherfucker was worth like $9,200.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? This guy doesn't even know what he got.
Yeah.
Yanmar
is a good brand.
I was like, bro, I'm going to be there in like 10 minutes. Like I dropped what I was doing to go get this fucking compressor. Anyways, getting back to what you're saying. The diesel motor lasted me for like fucking 2 years. That was a badass fucking motor. At one point, I started having problems with it starting. So, like, my dumbass decides to get the ignition fucking starter fluid.
Oh, fuck.
And I'm shooting it down the intake to, like,
it's
get
real
this
hot
diesel
too.
to fucking jump. Well, I did it so much, instead of fucking finding a mechanic that could fix whatever's going on, I just decided I'm going to jumpstart it every fucking day with this fucking ignition fluid. And it still worked for, like, 3 months with the ignition fluid.
Yeah.
After the first 2 or 3 times, I feel like it's going to work forever. I have this fucking $9,200 compressor, bro, and I'm jump starting it every fucking day with fucking starter fluid. Eventually, bro, have you ever heard of what's called a runaway diesel?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It turned into that, bro. The fucking engine was idling so high I thought I was gonna blow up, and I couldn't kill it.
Yeah.
You can't kill those
It
things.
blew
You have to
itself.
suffocate them.
So the fuel line had a knob that would stop the fuel.
Oh, you shut it off.
And that's the way I would shut it off. And I'm like, fuck, this thing's gonna blow up on the job site. I'm doing like this $3 million fucking house. I'm like, on the job site, this thing's gonna fucking blow up. And so eventually, bro, on that day, I learned how to the pulleys are different on the compressor pump.
Yes.
And on the motor. So like, depending which pulley you use, you start changing what that thing is capable of. You know what I mean? Like a compressor pump can do so much CFM.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But even if you put the right motor on it, because I had to take that diesel motor off. Even if you put the right motor on it, if you put the wrong pulley,
You don't pull this.
you're gonna
shit.
blow some shit up too. Yeah. So like, there's a science behind it. Like, you got to make sure the belt's the same, the pulleys are the same. And bro, like, I learned that day. So ever since then, like, I've been working on my own compressors. The only thing I can't do is the compressor pumps. I don't know how to take those motherfuckers apart and like rebuild them.
Okay.
The compressor pumps are a little bit different because like,
There's a lot of little like seals in there and a lot of how do you say it? Those are a little bit more intricate.
yes,
You know what I'm saying?
when you pull them apart, and so like they have like those little safeties that blow off valves.
Yes.
And I had one where the blow off valve was like, and I was like, I just figured the blow off valve was bad. So I put this new blow off valve with the same rating of PSI, and I slapped it on, and that one started doing it. I'm like, oh shit. So like, there's a local compressor shop in town, but they do, I can't remember. There's 2 old grumpy ass men that every time I go
AJ
in,
Colmar.
yes, them.
Yeah.
Those old guys are fucking assholes, dude.
Oh,
But-
they are. They're
but
horrible.
if you can get them to start talking, like, they have some real knowledge, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, finally, like, I've been in there so many times, they're like, they got tired of being rude to me. So, like, now they're just cool. Every time I go in, they're like, oh, here comes this motherfucker.
You gotta pass that phase with it,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, I think I passed it because now they're more accepting. Like, they'll sit there and they'll chop it up with me. And, like, they started telling me, they're like, look, dude, like, when that happens with one of your valves, like, pressure's coming back into the pump.
Yes.
And like I started learning the intricacies of how these pumps work, and I'm like, dude, like I'm past my realm here. Like this is not me. Like there's too much science behind this shit. And then to replace the pumps that I use, they're like $1,800 and up.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at like on the low side, I need 18 CFM for one, but the other one needs 30 CFM. So like those pumps, bro, they like go into the thousands, dude.
Oh yeah.
So, like-
using Quincy's.
Yeah, no, I don't use Quincy's. I did from compressor R's, but now I'm using Speeder.
Okay. Okay.
But I got one with an 80-gallon tank because I got tired of fucking with it. So I got like this 80-gallon tank one with a 30 CFM pump on it, and I got it for like.
If you can find a Quincy, You get that
lifelong.
motherfucker and keep
Lifelong,
it.
yeah. But man,
yeah.
I've had to learn my lessons, bro. Like, I've become a somewhat of a plumber, somewhat of an electrician, somewhat of a mechanic, somewhat of a.
I've seen some of your posts, and I've kind of want to reach out, but it's like he's not going to reach out. He's like, man, what? He don't fucking know what he's talking about. Where it's
Nah, dude, I'm always open to new information, dude.
But I just don't want to step bounds, man. 'Cause sometimes I see stuff, and I'm like,
Should I say something?
I was like, God, such an easy fix right there. But I'm like, man, he's not going to listen. He's not.
No, I'll always listen, bro. Like,
Because the only reason I'm saying I've reached out before, right? And people are just like, man, why don't you mind your own business? Okay, no problem.
I can save you a couple thousand.
You know?
Can you send me the picture when it blows up, please?
Yeah. So I've had some of them where they're like, mind my own business, right? And I'm like, okay, no problem. Then I see their compressor up for sale. And
That
I'm
was
like,
me, right?
It might have been.
I hope so.
So it was one of them was like, and it's sitting in the back of my truck right now. And he's like, I'll take $40. It's just fucked up anyways. And I'm like, all right, man, I'll give you $30. You know? And I'm like, hey, whatever. I could use it, you know?
Nice.
I go on Amazon, you buy a fucking $13 carburetor.
Yeah.
Slap it on.
Buy a kit for it.
That's it. And it's done.
Bro, you know which ones are blowing me away right now? The fucking, dude, they're right up there with the fucking Hondas, and they're like considered knockoffs. The Predators,
Oh, yeah.
fuck, dude, like those things are bulletproof, bro. Like they'll take a fucking whooping, man.
Yes,
Where are they
will.
made at?
China.
Korea?
I
China?
don't know
Harbor
where they're
Freight.
made at, but they're Harbor Freight.
They're Harbor
They're
Freight.
Harbor Freight.
So are they
brand.
Chinese or Korean?
I think they're Chinese. They're
Chinese.
Chinese. Because
No
one
shit.
time I had the linkages for the idle.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Ace Hardware and I tried every fucking bolt that it could have been, and I could not figure that motherfucker out, dude. I got on the line with fucking customer service. They couldn't fucking figure it out. I just went here locally. I'm like, bro, I explained my situation to the manager, and they know me, bro. I'm there all the fucking time. Yeah. And they're like, bro, just go pull it off the compressor in the back. I'm like, dude, nah, man, I'm not going to do that. And he insisted so much, I felt awkward telling him no after fucking 7 times. So I'm like, okay. So like he helped me pull that little screw that was missing off the back.
Yeah.
Instead of taking that screw and go put it on my compressor,
One little fucking screw.
I went back to Ace, and they have those little check systems.
Oh, yeah.
And I found the right one. My problem is I was trying to look it up in standard
is
and it was a
metric.
metric. Yeah. So like the
Metric 18 tooth.
the even though it was the right size, the
Yes.
threading was different.
Yes.
So anyways, that one little fucking screw cost me hundreds of dollars that day, bro. I could not figure it out for the life of me. I was going crazy.
I'd have got 100
Well,
of those
that's when I
motherfuckers.
figured out. That's when I figured out it was Chinese, because when I was on the phone and I was dealing with management, they were gonna have to call the manufacturer in China
Yeah.
to get it.
It was crazy at Lowe's, the little specialty shelves. They're there all day.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Man, my
I never
go-to,
even look in those shows. Really?
Yeah.
my go-to is Ace, because I hear Ace has shit that nobody
yeah,
has.
they do.
When it comes to like
They have
little
that
fitting,
They have that whole back
bullshit.
area that's nothing but fucking screws
Oh
and
yeah,
all
dude.
kinds
Like,
of different
you can
fittings.
get lost in there for hours,
Yeah.
bro. And so like, I took it over there, and sure enough, I'm like, pendejo. Like all I had to do was look in the metric. Like what the fuck?
The other place you can go to is Angelo Bolt.
Oh,
They have
them too.
Angelo
everything.
Bolt have everything too. Yeah. I love Angelo Bolt, and the guys are like always so willing to help, man.
Oh, yeah.
But
Except for guys at AJ Comer.
dude, I had a 9200, and
When
it kind of sucks.
so-
that I went from diesel to gas, but when I slapped that Predator in there, fuck,
It's
dude,
like champ, yeah.
that thing was a fucking bat out of hell, bro.
So shout out to AJ Komar. If those two old guys pass, we're gonna lose something.
That's
Special, something special.
Something
in this
very
town.
special.
They've been.
Yeah.
That
Somebody
AJ
needs to. They need to stop being such assholes
Pass it
and
on.
train somebody to pass it on
Pass
to.
it on to.
Yeah, because
No one wants
We
to
don't
do
have
that.
nothing like that in town.
No.
no,
Well, the whole service industry like that is going away
Yeah.
because there is nobody to replace them.
Yeah.
You know, of course, you can go to fucking Harbor Freight and get a goddamn compressor for just about nothing.
And we get back to the softening in society and that. So like the softening of society, we're seeing it in what we're talking about right now. So like I used to build houses. I used to do a bunch of houses for a builder named Chad Decker. So he ended up becoming president of the Home Builders Association here in town.
Okay.
And so like they're funded by some heavy hitters in San Angelo, man. Like multi-millionaires are in there funding our Home Builders Association. Shout out to those guys too, man. They do tremendous work for our community, man. They really keep the economy alive. But anyway, so like they noticed so the majority of the builders are under the umbrella of the Home Builders Association. So like, their gripes and complaints eventually start making their way up to the bigwigs, and they actually had to hold a couple meetings, man, because the subcontractors they're using, they're getting older in age.
Yes.
They're not getting replaced. So like little by little, people are starting to these guys are starting to retire, man. They're hitting 60, 70 years old. They're starting to retire, and they're noticing they're having less and less people to call. So now it's not so much an issue of like individual subs per se, but now it's getting into an issue where like San Angelo isn't meeting the needs of the housing that's required for the growing population.
Yes.
And it's not a lack of funding. It's not a lack of builders. It's not a lack of this or that. It's a lack of
Labor.
Yeah. And so they eventually teamed up with, it got so bad, they decided to bring Howard College into it. So they bring in Howard College, and the Home Builders Association was going to fund Howard College to
move
start
the program.
opening up trades to produce the labor force needed, because nobody's stepping up. The old-fashioned way of teaching kids isn't working anymore.
Yeah.
Isn't working anymore. Less fathers in the home. Man, they're being brought up more in a much more lazier fashion. Like they don't.
Well, yeah, we've talked about the course of the oil field industry.
Yeah.
Because we're noticing that.
Well, we see it.
Like I got my daughter's boyfriend, or my daughter's fiance.
Uh-huh.
He got out there and he's like, man, you weren't kidding, dude. He goes, all I'm working with a bunch of old people.
Yeah.
There's nobody my age that are trying to come up.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that do, well, fuck, they don't want to do nothing anyways. Luckily, he's got a good fucking head on his shoulders, But he was sitting there looking around. He's like, there's no young people out here.
Yeah.
There's nobody. Nobody wants to. There's nobody teaching the younger generation. Nobody wants to fill them shoes anymore. And I don't know. I mean, I know there's a lack of, people being born.
Mm-hmm.
There's not there.
Nobody wants to have kids anymore.
No one wants to have kids anymore. So I see that. But on top of that, it's like, I don't know what these kids are doing. They don't want to leave fucking, I guess, their fast food jobs. They don't want to fucking, I don't see where they want to pursue
They don't want it hard.
anything.
You know where it got worse?
Yeah, there you go.
They don't want it hard.
With
You know where it got
social
worse
media
is
influencing.
COVID started handing out those supplement checks. So like they said that there was people up until last year that were still surviving off of money they got off of COVID.
No shit.
Like, dude, they got that money, and like they're not gonna work if they don't have to, man.
Yeah.
Like, not only they gave the first phase of X amount of money, then the second phase, and how many checks were issued at the
I think there was three.
There was a third phase. Everybody got the first and second. Only limited people got the third.
Economic impact.
There you go. Yeah. And so like, but on top of those checks, there was also checks being issued for the PPI or PIP or whatever.
Oh, the PPL.
Yeah,
the PPP.
There was those. So
yeah.
there was multiple. It wasn't just those checks. Like there was other programs out there.
Yeah.
Some of them were providing weekly checks, like not in the amount of
Really?
like $1,300, but like a couple $100, like weekly or
unemployment.
bi-weekly to like.
Well, it's like unemployment too. 'cause-
Yeah, like it was like a version of unemployment, pretty
So
much.
I don't
from the
understand,
government,
because
though.
even then, right? Even if it is a couple $100 a fucking, a week, how are you living off that?
Yeah, they're gonna make it work, bro, because they rather live that way than get up in the morning and go to work.
Go to work.
And so
But-
like it's also it's systemic in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Like we already see the effects of not having a father in the home, and that comes from custody battles.
Yeah.
Predominantly won by the woman. So like then you start assisting so much the woman that they don't have the need for the man anymore. Now you're eliminating the father out of the household. Just human nature. If there's no necessity for it, then why am I fucking with it? Like, especially if it's causing headaches. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, if there's no necessity for it, like, so now there's no necessity for the father, financially anyway. You know what I mean? So there's that. And then, they have all these programs, and then COVID hits, and then there's just more programs to tap into and more programs to tap into. Eventually, the government becomes daddy.
Yeah.
And so, like, why the fuck am I going to work? You know what I mean? Like, and that's happening on a scale that most people don't talk about.
Yeah.
Like it's
So I wonder how that's going to help with Trump trying to pass that whole either you pay child support or you get to write that off.
yeah.
Which
Man, I heard that was more like hearsay than actually anything that's really even being
it
turned
might
into a
be.
bill.
Fuck.
But
Everybody put shit out there.
like let's talk about like if it was real though. Like I kind of like that idea. How do you feel about it?
I mean, I'm outside the circle, but I'm like, if any other business, if I'm spending X amount of dollars a year, I should be able to write that off.
I agree.
It's an expense. I don't say unforeseen expense, but it is an expense.
Yeah.
They should be able to write that off.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
I don't have my kid's dad on child support.
So you're tipping the scales.
Really?
I really don't.
For decades now, you've been tipping the scales in the wrong direction. So the man is coming up with a child support, and I agree. Child support on the man if he's an absent father.
Yes.
If he's an absent father, hit that motherfucker with as much child support as you can. I agree with that. But we got to understand something about this president. He's not a politician. He's a businessman.
Yeah. So
numbers work differently in a head like that than most people do. So he sees interest rates, taxes. He sees income coming in. So like looking at it from taking your feelings out of it. Everybody needs to take their feelings out of it. If you just look at it in black and white on paper, taxes, income, government assistance. If I'm providing $300 a month for 12 months, you know what I mean? That's $3,600 a year. That's not a lot of money, but I mean, what if somebody just gave you $3,600 cash right now? It's still a good chunk of change.
Oh yeah.
Right? Now, not only are we giving that tax-free to somebody, I know the term behind that is a mother, so that's where people get their feelings involved. Let's just look at it just strictly business. Mm-hmm. If I'm giving you $3,600 to you, you're not getting taxed on it, but I'm getting taxed on it. You know what I mean? Like, you just got it tax-free. I gave it to you. I'm getting taxed on it, right? Mm-hmm. Then, so that's one whammy. The double whammy comes in when you go to file income tax. Not only do you get it tax-free and I'm taxed, now you're getting to claim the fountain where that money's going to as yours. Like, hey, dude, I just got fucked twice. Yeah. So this is what happens now. Because you got to look at it as stimulating the economy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, if you're getting $3,600, you're spending those $3,600. Right? That's cool. But now I'm getting the income tax break from it. So now you're giving two different fountains money to go stimulate the economy. But
I think the problem stems with that with the federal assistance. Because at that point, let's say the state's incentivized to put you on child support because they get a chunk.
The percentage.
They don't even get the money that you're owing. They get federal assistance. For every dollar that you put, I don't know exactly what the number is, but for every dollar they can get you to pay child support, they're federally assisted. The state is 77 cents.
No fucking way.
Of every dollar that they get.
Which is why.
That's why they give it to the woman.
Exactly. It's a business. Yeah. It's a big business. Because they push. I don't know if they push it on you, Tiffany, but they try to push as hard as they can, in my experience, to put somebody on child support. When I went to go when I got full custody of my daughter, God damn, they were bombarding me with phone calls and letters trying to get me to put child support on my baby's mom.
Yeah, because there's an incentive. And see, I didn't know this, when I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he's like, I pay X amount to the baby mama child support. And I'm like, well, how much does she get? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, if you're paying X amount of dollars a month to go to the baby mama, how much does she get? Mm-hmm. She's like, well, she gets the full amount. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, so where's the funding to keep the lights on at the fucking child support?
If they're not making any money.
If they're not making any money off.
Federal.
So that's where I really came down. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah. So there's people that have to be compensated, not only for the building that they're in, for the lights, but the compensation for the employees that I have to make the paychecks for all they go.
Yeah, the payroll.
Yeah. So where's that money come from? And I didn't realize that. I was like, oh, the reason that they push so hard to put the father or somebody on child support because they get an X amount of X amount of cents per dollar of every, that goes back into their funding to make child support.
The income on the man side is usually higher. So they percentage wise, men always make more money than women.
Yeah, so they can chase the money. Just like my lawyer, he's like, you want to follow the money. Yeah, we don't give a fuck about the rest of it. Yeah, which is another thing is that a lot of people don't understand that. Why don't you file for let's say joint custody? Mm-hmm. Because I've heard plenty of times joint custody. There's no child support to be paid because you're both sharing the same amount of time with the child.
Yeah.
You know, so if that's the case, you know, why aren't you? Because I don't know exactly what falls in between that, but the stuff that I've seen, that when the father wins the joint custody, there is no child support to be paid because it's like
I didn't put child support on her.
Yeah,
I didn't want it. I was like, what the fuck? What good is that going to be?
Yeah, you're not going to get
What
shit
good is that
anyways.
going to be? Yeah,
Same.
yeah. And see, props to you, Tiffany. I mean, I'm sure it's hard, but props to you
Yeah.
for not doing it because I mean,
It's crooked, man, all the way up to the top. That shit's
It
crooked,
very is,
dude.
man. When you come to find out that there's this weird funding that's coming from the federal government, and I was like, hold on, why are we funding this shit?
In the meantime, though, what's that really doing to society as a whole? Like, okay, that's money wise, but like, dude, what are you doing to the kids? Here we are, so many generations later that they've been doing this generation after generation
yes.
after generation, and what has the outcome become? You know what I mean? Like,
well, look at society right
Yeah,
now.
we were just talking about the labor force. That's just one aspect of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Just look at society. Though.
we were talking about how women earlier. We were talking about the gas station incident on my post. We were talking about how men aren't men anymore. You know what I mean? Like, how far reaching is that ripple
Yeah.
of?
Well, it's very large because what's the incentive for a guy to go out and find the 9-to-5 job to pay the child support when he can't even afford to live in the fucking apartment that he's trying to get?
Now you have men that refuse to marry. Mm-hmm. Now you have people like we just mentioned it earlier. We lightly mentioned it, but nobody wants to have kids anymore, right? You know what I mean? Like now, so the statistics on homelessness, incarceration, what was the other one? Drug addicts, suicide, and there's a fifth one I can't remember. There's maybe more than 5, but I just named 4. The statistics are overwhelmingly higher in each of those categories, coming from single mother homes than single father homes.
That is the most mind blowing statistic.
So like now we're talking about child support. We're talking about the interest rates. We're talking about federal funding, right? It's in their interest to do this to produce more money.
Yes.
But look at what we're doing to society. Yeah. Like look at, and then we wonder why America has all these fucking problems, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? We have more problems than we can fucking handle right now. And it's how many of those problems could be solved if none of this was in place? You know what I mean? What if the government was just hands off? Like, hey man, y'all deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, I'm raising my kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
As far as it is, I mean, it'd be a hard thing to change because you're taking money away from people. Mm-hmm. You know, so nobody wants to see that. But you're right. Mm-hmm. You're right. The fact of the matter is that the system has to be changed. Yeah. Because it's not helping you, right? It's not helping nobody. I mean, and that's the most mind-blowing statistic that I've ever met. Oh, yeah. That the chances of your child coming from a single mother home raises exponentially that you're going to be either a criminal or in prison.
You're exploding the statistical disadvantage in the wrong fucking way.
Yeah.
For your child.
Exactly. And if that child is raised by a dad, he has the same chances
as a dual family.
As a dual
parent family.
So basically it doesn't even change. If you got a 2-parent household, you're going to be just fine if you just go with your dad. But if you go with your mom, your chances not even triple but quadruple the chances that you're going to end up incarcerated.
What's the reason behind that? Is it because of the discipline or what?
It's the discipline, man. And of course, the money incentive too.
So like, a lot of so I see this a lot in the Hispanic culture. Like, a lot of the times, like the woman will raise the child till they're like 6, 7, 8 years old. And then as soon as like the child is of working age, you know what I mean? Like, I know that goes against like child labor laws. I've been working since I was 13, bro. Yeah. But like, you know, a reasonable age where like you can teach the kid hard work. Like it's healthy to like let the mother at first because she has that more nurturing care. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The more coddling kind of love. And the father is usually more black and white, more disciplinarian type. You know what I mean? So like the thing with the discipline aspect is definitely on the father's side, but a kid still needs that loving side too.
Yes, which you know why you need both parents.
You need both parents. A mother is always going to be.
That's the most ideal thing. Yeah.
Yes, a mother's always going to be a bigger nurturer, but there comes a point where you hit that age, and if you don't get the more black and white love, the more disciplinarian, tough love, the more push you hard to be for having a work ethic kind of love. Like now you're raising a teenager like they were still a child.
Yeah.
And because the father was never there. So like the mother doesn't know how to, I'm not going to say all of them. There we go. There I go again. Let me be careful with my words. A mother is more inclined to continue nurturing because she's a nurturer by nature. A teenager the way she nurtures her 3-year-old.
Yeah.
You know
But
what I
I
mean?
think there's that blurred line that's reached too, though, where the dad becomes the disciplinary, right? And the mom's like, he's just a kid.
Yeah.
Don't work him so hard.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't understand. I'm not working him hard. I'm teaching him.
There's
Yeah.
a teaching thing. Yeah.
I was like, you stop looking at the fact that I'm being mean to him. I'm teaching him the
Yeah.
fact that when you get started on something, you finish something.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let him get away with half-ass work, even though you see it that I'm yelling at him. No, he needs to be held to a standard.
That's
that
principle.
Yes.
Principle through real life lessons.
Yeah.
You know what?
Principle through real life lessons.
yeah.
So this is what happens. So now we're talking about the statistical advantage, right? Everything we just mentioned: suicide, homelessness, incarceration rates, fucking all that shit, right? So like that. Those overwhelming numbers, they're more on the mother's side
Yes.
being detrimental than the father's because, like, just I feel the numbers paint a picture of biology. Like we're built different than women in that sense. You know what I mean? We're more the physical tough. Like hey man, I'm
Well-
much more likely to spank my kid than
Well,
his mom is. You know what I mean?
In a way, that was a traditional sense.
Yeah.
It's not really like that as much anymore.
But why?
I don't know why.
Well,
Because you have more men now that have been raised by those mothers than you did before.
yeah, because you
So,
reach
like-
that point where it's like, look, you
Well-
don't want me to teach this kid to be the man that you expect me to be.
Not only that, there's several factors to that. That is a
Well,
big,
that's one of
that's
them.
it. One
Yes,
big.
you're right,
That's
you're
one
right.
big factor.
Yeah.
But the other factor is the new world that we live in now is technology driven.
Everything's easier.
Everybody wants to be a social media influencer. Everybody wants to be a stupid
That's what I'm saying.
stupid
The
ass
easiest
podcaster.
route.
Yeah.
The easiest route is what everybody wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're bombarded with.
Yeah.
You know, if you give your kid a phone and an iPad at an early age, that's what they're going to fucking see constantly all the time. And they're going to be like, oh, that's the way. And then when it comes time to check your oil, or do you have the balls enough to go and do something like your plumbing in your house? Can you do it? Or are you going to call somebody?
Those skills are
Those
being
skills-
outdated.
yes, exactly.
Because we've all chosen the easier path.
Exactly.
And just like me. Hey, bro, I just
But-
gave an example
yeah.
of how I got stuck
But-
on Sonora
yeah.
and I wasn't going to survive, bro.
Yeah,
That's
but-
soft. You know what I
yeah.
mean? That's soft. I like to consider myself like, hey, bro, I've been in the trades. I've done all types of construction work. I can fucking build a fucking house. I can change a fucking tire. I can change the fucking oil. I can be all the shit that like a man is supposed to be.
But then
Hey, bro, you put me out in Sonora and I was running out of gas.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, I'm going to fucking die out
I mean,
here, bro.
I don't know. I guess you can see it from both ways, man.
You know what I
'cause-
mean? So even I'm soft.
Yeah, when I'm seeing some of these kids, right, where it's just like you want them to be this dude, but then all of a sudden they're sweating. Mijo, take a break.
Yeah.
Where I see that shit,
You know-
like you're talking about the easy way.
Yeah.
You know, which I get my kids spend a lot of time on social media too, but when it's time to, hey, shut it off.
But see, you're a
Yeah.
good dad. You do that.
Yes,
You know.
but it's because I see that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people refuse to see the fact that he's working hard. Like I hear this from my wife all the time. Why are you working so hard? Don't worry about
Yeah.
that. Don't worry about it. See, this you're trying to step in to raise a boy to be a man, but you don't know what it is to be a man. You don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I let me take it easier on your kids, stuff like that. You know, that's what you're saying. I'm being too rough with them. But you're trying to tell me I'm too rough with them. Hold on, excuse me. Stop a second.
Yeah.
You hold me to a standard.
Yeah.
Okay. But when I told her to hold your kids to the same standard, all of a sudden I'm mean.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, hold on a second. Don't tell me how to be a dad. I won't tell you how to be a mom.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
but-
What you know? I'm gonna say this right here because so growing up, my dad was hard on us.
Yes.
Especially me. I was the oldest, so I got hey, I was the experiment. I got the brunt of it because they didn't know where the line was at. I had to create the line. So my dad was fucking hard on me. Like I had to fucking like, hey man, I was my dad's, I don't want to say slave, but I kind of was, because I was outside all the time working with him. I fucking hated it. When I was growing up, I'm not gonna lie, and Dad, I do love you, but when I was growing up, I had hate for my dad.
Yeah.
Because it was like, what the fuck? You know, I didn't see it. I was a fucking stupid kid. You know, I didn't see it. My dad was fucking hard on me, bro. Like, I mean, I had to work every day. Like, if my friends were going out and having fun and this and that, I was in the backyard digging fucking ditches for fence poles, or laying fucking an acre's worth of fucking sprinkler system, or welding some shit that I mean, you've talked about
That's
this.
hard as a
I
kid.
fucking hate welding.
That's hard as a kid.
I can weld, but I fucking hate it.
You want me to tell
Because
you?
for me, I look back at welding and I was like, it brings up bad memories, and it's like, fuck that, you know, fuck that. But hold on, let me get to my point though. My point is, so now as an older man, and yeah, you know what, I should have went one direction, but I was a rebel, so I ended up going into a bad direction. But it still circled back around. It doesn't fucking matter. It still circled back around because I had the skills to do the shit, and I learned the will, or he instilled the will into me to work as hard as I work. So when people ask me, like when I do something at the house, or whenever I fix something, or I do this or do that, whatever, where'd you learn how to do that? I have no other fucking option but to say, my dad taught me.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he did.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
No matter how much.
As a dad with 4 kids and having the older one, I was hard on my oldest one. You know why? I held him to a different standard than the rest of them.
Well, it's also your first time going
It's your
around.
first. You don't know how else to do it though either.
Yes.
That's your
I
first
get that.
kid.
It's your first kid. So there's the standard. Like I said, you were held to a higher standard than everyone
Yeah.
else because you were expected. No, you're the oldest one. And the only reason I know this because I had to self-reflect. I'm like, fuck, I was hard on my, because the oldest one doesn't want nothing to do with what I do. But the fact of the matter is that I had to do a lot of self-reflection on that. Because he doesn't like helping me. He doesn't like doing any of that. But it's because I held him to a different standard than the rest of them.
Yeah.
You're gonna. As the oldest child, it's gonna. I don't know how he thinks, but I know how I thought about it, and it was like, I was pissed all the time.
Yes.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
I was pissed all the time, and
That's
I was
where the
like,
rebellion comes
what,
from.
Yeah, that's where the
Yes.
rebellion came from.
So-
it's because it was like, why is he fucking picking on me?
Yeah, he wasn't picking.
You know,
Well,
but
that's what I felt like.
I'm a man now.
Yeah.
And now I look back and I see it, and I'm like, damn, you know what? It was all for the better good. But I just had to be the fucking rebel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Had I not had to been the rebel, and if I had just followed the path that he was trying to instill in me, my life would have went a total different trajectory. You know?
This is a life lesson that can be applied in many different aspects. Like it's one lesson that can be applied in hard work and a lot of different things. In my life, it was religion. So like same thing y'all are kind of talking about, like too hard, too much. So like I was brought up as a Jehovah's Witness, right? And so I remember my dad taking a different approach with me. He always explained to me the why he wanted me to do something.
Where are you at in
not
the family?
just fucking do it.
Oldest?
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest? Okay.
So like I appreciated that even at the time. I appreciate it more now. But even at the time I appreciated that because my mother was raised differently with her parents. So she was more like the do as I say kind of authoritarian.
get you.
And my father was more like, you're going to do as I say no matter what, but I'm also going to explain to you why so you get it.
Yeah.
Like
The lecturer.
He took the lecturer. Like if you can understand the reasoning behind my decisions, you're probably gonna respect them more. You know what I mean? So like when it came time for like church, like I started getting older and older, like 13, 14, 15. Man, same thing like with work. Like I was starting to reject that shit. Like I didn't want it no more. Like it was a bummer. It wasn't like when you hate something, you're not gonna get anything out of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he told me, he's like, look, just hang in with me till you're like 18, 19. When you're old enough to make your own decisions, you can walk away from this. He goes, but I want you to have it. Like, learn it, have it. And he sat down and he had a talk with me. And he explained to me why he wants me to go. And that kind of lightened the mood. That kind of took the pressure off a little bit. I'm like, okay, I see why he's trying to do that. So, like, bro, I still rebelled, though. Like, man, there came a time where, like, bro, I got car keys, fuck it, bye. Y'all ain't seeing me no more. You know what I mean? I started fucking going out, like never coming back. That's when my drinking started and shit. Dude, all of my 20s kicked off from that. You know what I mean? And it wasn't until like I hit my 30s, you know, I look back on it and I'm like you say, it circle backs. It always circles back. So like life, I learned, I took my licks, you know what I mean, from like my stupid ass decisions. And like, holy shit, this man was right the whole fucking time. You know what I mean? And so like as an adult, you come back to it. We all gotta make our mistakes, man. We're all gonna fucking learn. And it's like you're saying, like, he was your first one, same thing. Like learning. You know what I mean? Like maybe you made mistakes with your first one that you didn't with your second and third and fourth and so on. You know what I mean? Like it's just when you're in it for the first time, you don't know what the future holds, man. It's like it's uncharted waters.
Yeah. Well, you go all in. That's the problem. You go all in thinking that, all right, this is all going to go down the first time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's not till you get to the second or third one that you kind of liven up. And not I would say pretty much liven up. Where
You
you're
have
just
4
like,
kids, right?
Yeah, 4 kids. Mm-hmm. So you start to, I wouldn't say you get tired.
Yeah.
You do get tired.
Yeah.
So the
Like-
first thing you go ham.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, he's mean or whatever. I was like, no, I'm holding you to a different standard because back then I was younger.
Yeah.
I was in my 20s. Mm-hmm. So I held you to a different standard. Mm-hmm. I wanted you to understand everything the way I understood it.
Yeah.
Because you're the
And
first
you're still
one.
learning.
I'm still,
Yeah.
Dude.
That's the other thing. You're still learning.
One thing that I realized in a very young age is that we're all winging it.
Yep.
Whether you're fucking 8 years old or you're 80 years old.
Amen, dude.
You're winging it. You're winging this whole fucking thing. So for somebody
We're
to
in
be
a
like,
rock in the middle of
Speaking
space
as
and
a-
it's fucking
Yeah,
spinning,
bro.
man.
There's no book for it.
there's no book.
What'd you
So
say,
people-
Tiff?
I was saying, speaking as a single mom of 2 kids, a boy and a girl, it's really hard to play both roles.
Oh,
It
yeah.
really is,
Oh, yeah.
because for me with my son, I mean, yes, like y'all said, you know, women, they tend to be a little bit more on the nurturing, more on the soft side. But at the same time, my dad, don't get me wrong, I love my mom and she was there and I get a lot of that soft side from her. But like with my dad, I feel like his lessons pushed more in my head because he's the one that pushed me into art, doing all kinds of different things. And then once I was done with 1 degree, it was like, okay, so what's next? He was always pushing me to learn something new.
Yeah.
And he was like, you can never stop learning. So
I know the feeling. For
everything
that
is a lecture. And, you know, so like if I had a toy, I couldn't mess with it. I couldn't even touch it. Couldn't open it until I read the instruction from front to back, you know? So when I am with my kids, like my daughter, for instance, she is now realizing like I have to put in work if I want to get paid now that she is a hired colorist now. I mean, she's 14.
Shout
and she's,
out. That's
she's,
awesome, though.
She's learning, you know, but this is a great opportunity for her. And I'm having to, you know, kind of show her like, you know, for one, you have this opportunity. 2, you've built this up yourself. And she's very independent, which I actually really love about that because, you know, she's always picking up new things to learn. And then with my son, I mean, I guess because of my past, my biggest lessons I'm trying to push on him is that I just want him to grow up to be a respectable man.
That's hard. That's hard for you to do as a single mom because it's hard for you to show that. It's hard for you to give that example.
Yeah.
So I mean, props to you because you're trying. I mean, I don't know.
you're trying.
I don't know how. You don't have any other option but to just do whatever you can do.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you raise the little boy differently than the little girl, in terms of like principles and perspectives, like approaching life?
No,
Obviously,
I think I hold a lot of like my personal struggles with like just, you know, whether it was during the hard times where I'm making, you know, trying to make ends meet and showing them as a lesson, like, look, you have to work hard if you want to be able to do this. And you have to, you know, just kind of putting those values in them is really what I push more than anything. As far as like, you know, I only know how to do so much stuff, but I mean, I try to show them what I can. And
So on that, I got a question for you. How do you talk to your son about his emotions?
I talk to him just like I would talk to my daughter. I go side by side. Hey, you know, what's going on?
Yeah. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. The reason I'm saying this because like when my kids start to cry, I'm like, stop. Stop crying. I understand that what happened hurt your feelings. I understand that. but nothing comes of this.
Yeah.
Nothing comes of it. I granted, take these as the lessons learned. I understand. Like, it's hard to do my daughter that way, but my daughter's like, I won't say one of the boys, but she's real reserved in her shit. Like, it's easier to make her cry.
Yeah.
But it was a lot easier when she was younger. I'm like, look, stop. Because one of my biggest pet peeves.
She's gotten harder skin.
Yes. My biggest pet peeve is crying. I'm like, what's
Mine
that?
too.
Yeah. What's that going to do?
Ain't doing nothing for you.
Ain't doing nothing but make you look weak as fuck.
Oh, I know. You showed me that early on.
And it's hard too because my
Stop
son,
crying. You sit there and take it.
my son is super sensitive. So
Yeah.
like any little conversation when I would have to like kind of be stern with him, it drew tears, and like that came to school to making sure that his stuff was done.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. I mean, like, he's addicted to his Switch, like, hard.
Yeah.
And, I have to tell him, like, son, you need to go touch some grass because you need to cut it off. You're getting too into this. You need to get with reality a little bit.
Yeah.
And, that's just one of those struggles that I deal with him personally now.
Yeah. One of the things that I'm real stern on is that the dinner table. Shut them off.
Oh, yeah. Dinner table is
Shut 'em
family
off. I
time.
don't want to see that shit. But my biggest pet peeve, and it's always been crying.
Yeah.
Fucking hate crying.
Mine too, man.
I'm just like, it's not going to help you.
Well, it doesn't do nothing. I mean,
it doesn't do anything.
also, we do say that as men, and it really doesn't do nothing for you. But sometimes you just need to outlet something.
Yes.
Whether it's I need to smash something, or I need to fucking scream, or I just need to fucking. Some people, their thing is, I just need to fucking cry,
and that's
fine. But then
fine.
once you get it out, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Now it's out. Now what are we gonna do about it?
Bottling shit up, even for men, is bad.
Yes, very much.
And we're not even as emotional.
Got to get it out somehow.
We're not even as emotionally created as woman is, but even for us, I mean, I've seen the consequences of bottling some shit up, and it's more dangerous for a man to bottle shit up because sometimes
they
our shit
blow
can,
up. Yeah.
our shit can manifest itself into violence.
Oh, very much.
You know what I mean? So like, it's hard, man. So like, my kid, man, he's 7. He's still little, right? And I'm catching my flaws as a dad. Maybe something I should cut back on is I have the bad habit of like, when he's crying, okay, he's not really hurt. He's not bleeding. He doesn't have a broken bone. But like, bro, I'm just like you. Like,
This is your one and only
the
kid,
crying, right? I'm like, why? And I'm like, hey, man, tough it out. Like, and I have this little saying, be a little man. And I say that, and maybe I shouldn't. But like at the same point, like,
This is your one and only.
my only kid.
Okay, so you're
like,
still. This is all.
all new to me
all
too.
new to you,
All new
yeah.
to me too. But like, I put myself in a position like I start to think like, would I be the same way if I had a little girl?
No.
And I don't think I would be.
No, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't.
I don't
Because
think
your
I would be,
expectations
like,
are different.
Yeah, like.
Oh,
like,
it hits,
so like
it
there's
hits
a
your heart.
difference.
It
bro.
hits your heart
There's
different.
a difference. Like, but if I were to raise a little girl like a little girl in this society, would that be detrimental to her?
No.
No.
So like,
Well,
When you're-
yes.
okay, so-
'Cause I didn't raise my girl that way.
Yeah.
I'm a mom dad though.
Yes.
You've kind of got both, but you're more of a boy dad than you are
Yeah.
a mom, or more of a not a
Girl
mom
dad.
But
girl
yeah.
dad. I'm sorry, girl dad.
Even Ariana
So-
growing up, I was like, stop.
My daughter could get over on me easy.
Yeah. No, my daughter couldn't.
No, mine could
Yeah.
because that's all I have though. I didn't have. I mean, and I was hard on her, but it could get to a point where I just like, okay, yes.
Eventually, you folded.
Yes, but I was hard on her. Like she was always mad at me. You know, she could always say that I was mean, but I wasn't mean. I was just trying to show her the right way.
Right.
But and she gets that now. You know, she does. We've had long conversations about this. But you know, it was tough for her growing up. You know, because I didn't know how. It was hard for me to be coming from being raised by the way my dad raised me, and then she's my one and only, and it's like I don't know how to raise a kid at all, much less a daughter, because I grew up in a very masculine,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
way. So it was like she was a tomboy for a long time, actually.
Well, I get that, but I think I was steadfast even from the first one. But the difference was I had a woman in the house, so she got the
That is a
sympathy-
big difference.
She
Yeah.
got
There
the,
you
go.
she got
That's
the
a big
sympathy
difference.
from someone else.
Yeah.
You don't get it from me.
yeah.
You know, I'm not here. I'm not. How can I put this?
An asshole.
I'm sure I got that. I'm sure I got that. But I understood that I understood from a very young age.
But it's
Especially
good though.
Yes, especially with me and my wife getting along together. I was like, look, I got to fit the role as the bad guy.
Yeah.
Man, dude,
This is my role.
And you know what?
And you
I
know what?
I
It's
gotta give
needed,
props
though.
to you.
It's
Yeah,
needed.
I give props to you for accepting that because it's hard for
Yeah.
For most men and parents, because you want to be the friend, you want to be the guy, you want to be the. For you to accept that and be like, you know what, I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
And I'm just gonna deal with it.
Yes,
but because I have to do what I got to do.
It's gonna get like
nobody
that for you
else
too.
is gonna do it.
I'm gonna say this right now, Rock. Enjoy this little point right here where your son wants to be with you.
Yeah.
Right now you
don't want to.
Yes.
No,
you're his superhero right now.
So like
it's gonna turn around
it's
to where
starting to happen already.
Beg him for time.
Nah,
just slight little things like little things that I can see. Like it's like the beginnings of stuff. So like not full on yet, but it's the beginnings of stuff. Like man, I used to be pretty on top of like, okay, I have free time. It's the mom's week. He's with his mom. So like on his mom's week, I'd fill in the gaps by going and having lunch with him at school.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, man, he'd always be fucking excited to like fucking see me. Like he'd walk into the cafeteria and his eyes are just like, Dad, and he'd fucking come running to me. Now, dude, like I'm sitting there waiting in the cafeteria, waiting for all the kids to like start rolling through, and I'm waiting for Mijo to come through, man. Here comes Mijo, here comes Mijo, here comes Mijo. He goes over there and he walks over there. His little fucking face.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's wrong? I wanted to have lunch with my friends. Like, it's different.
Yes.
And I mean, he's only
But
7.
How many times do you do that?
But like,
a lot?
Man, see, like, I took a little bit of hiatus because I got really busy with work. And so, like, I haven't done it in like over a month. But
that's not long.
I used to go every week with his mom, like 2 or 3 times a week. Like, it was a pretty common thing. Yeah. So, like, now he's had this like month and a half space where like Dad hasn't really intruded on his lunch hour. And like today, it was just today actually. I went today over there because he went with his mom on Monday. I'm like, I'm gonna pop in. You know, I don't got much going on. I'm gonna go have lunch with him. And I was expecting the same little look, and when I didn't get it, bro, that kind of like sucked a little bit. Like, this dude wants to go hang out with his friends. And I was sympathetic, man. I was like, look, man, I know you weren't expecting me. I go, if you want to go hang out with your buddies, take your lunch, go over there, hang out with your friends. He looks at his friends, he looks at me, he's like, no, I'll have lunch with you. Like, you know what I mean? But like, it wasn't like an excitement kind of thing. He's 7.
Wow.
But see, you go through that though, because
they're escalating quick on that.
The kids who continue to keep being excited about their parents coming over, you know, there's a lot of span between them. A lot. Yeah. Like my kids are I'm more reliable. When they come home, I'm going to be there. Yeah. So there's no excitement there. Yeah. They're just like, well, he's going to be there. Dad, I'll see Dad when he gets home. Yeah. Stuff like that, you know. Yeah. Not how I haven't seen him in a week or I haven't seen him like that, so I'm going to be more excited and stuff like that, you know. Because like my kids, bro, if I go have lunch with them, they want to go sit with their friends. Yeah, yeah. He's there. But the biggest thing, man, is just being there. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of plays I'm sure your kid does. Has he done them yet? A lot of what? Plays, kind of like, you know, maybe they have a little choir or something like that with the school.
He's not really into that.
It might manifest later,
but not right now. Yeah.
Look at that face. You see it. I mean, it's the most mind blowing thing. No one, and that's the crazy part is that I see some parents, they never notice it. Where, like, I see it with my kids all the time, you know, because they know I'm going to be there, but they can't find me. Yeah. So they're like that. There's no quiet ones. They're like,
they're looking for
they're looking. And as soon as they see you, they're like, and it changes.
They feel their confidence.
There's
kicks
like,
in
oh shit, there's mom and dad right there.
Yeah.
There's dad right there. I can see him. Yeah. But man, it's that look, dude, because there's some kids that don't ever get that. They don't, they'll look into the
that
crowd,
used to kill me up when it was like, was it the Dads and Donuts?
Yes, man. The biggest thing I tell, like, he's like, oh, there's my son right there. I was like, man, you should go say hi to him. Yeah. Go walk up to him, at least acknowledge that he's there. Yeah. And their entire mood changes. Yeah. And I'm like, that's all that kid wants. All that kid wants. Yeah. Walk up to the stage. And I'm like, hey, do good.
Presence, man.
Yeah, do good.
You're just you being there.
Just it.
When I played football and I was in track and everything, and I was pretty damn good, but I didn't give a fuck about the crowd. When I would look out there, I just wanted to see anybody from my family, my mom, my dad, my brother, and luckily they were there. But there were a few times when they couldn't make it, and I remember those times. Hey, man, they just couldn't make it. Like, you know what I mean? It's just what it is. Like, right. And it was kind of like, fuck. Yeah. You know, your confidence was a little bit lower. Yeah. Like,
and that's one thing, man.
I think we're just so even at that age, even as kids, like they probably don't see it for what it is. I see it as like purpose. Like, what am I doing this for? You know what I mean? Like if they turn around and they don't see anybody that cares about them there, they almost feel like I could see where that would be a feeling of like Like, I don't even want to be up here anymore. Like,
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of disconnect, man, where it's just they don't hold that emotion to anybody. They're the ones that go months, that'll go years without visiting their parents. Yeah, there may be a phone call every now and then, but there's no emotional attachment.
yeah.
That's why those people are so, when you try to get
Disconnected.
along, they're so there you go. They're so disconnected with people.
They're used to not having a connection,
Exactly,
so they
man.
don't need it
They
anymore.
don't need it. They don't.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's you've cleaned them out on them, you know. And I see that with some people, where it's like the ones that do go up, you know, show that their parents. Those are the ones that are going to show up to Thanksgiving, show up to Christmas. Those are the ones going to make the effort to try to, hey, you know what, we're going to get together this week, you know, this whatever holiday. But man, I tell you one thing, dude, and it's really pushed me back from kind of going out towards Midland, you know, traveling, making more money.
Yeah.
Because the fact of the matter is, it's just like, why do I want to do that? I wouldn't give this up for $1 million.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I'm like, at least my kids, I'd rather my kids be tired of me being there all the time than to be wondering where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's always been my deal.
What's more important, money or time?
It's
fucking time.
It's
Oh,
not.
yeah.
It's not one or two. It's a consistency.
Yes,
The
that's what it is.
consistency. Like, if you're used to me being here, yeah, I see what you're saying now. Like, I shouldn't take it like, oh shit, like he's not excited to see me anymore. I should take it like he's used to seeing me.
Yeah. Feel the
That's
comfort.
a good thing.
The comfort that he knows you're reliable.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he'll always
It's never-
be there.
it's never a question.
It clicked.
Oh, yeah,
It just clicked.
100%.
What you were trying to say.
Because it is. I mean, like if you get something every day,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You know
Yeah.
you're going to eat every day. You know, it's just another day to you.
Yeah.
You know, but it's now look at those other ones that,
That
don't
don't
get that.
have that.
Don't get
Yeah.
that. They're just like, oh,
The
fuck.
consistency isn't there. So
It's
they're
not
they're
there.
they have to do without.
Yes, and
have to do
that manifests into other shit, man.
Yeah, that's
into
true.
relationships.
Yeah.
Because
See,
my kids, like, I got sorry.
Oh, no,
Tiffany.
go ahead.
I got 3 kids, right, and they all got girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm like, all right, you know, back when we were younger, I had the old fucking. I guess that's why I'm
Old red?
so.
Oh, sorry.
Old red?
No, go ahead.
Well, my parents were always there, you know. So my relationship with my wife before she was even my wife, you know, all the relationships that I had before that, I was all in. Hey, you know what? I'm going to give you my time. I'm going to give you me 100, not 100%, you know, until we get married. But that's why I always hold the consistency. It's just like, look, I'm going to give you me because that's what I.
Those drops in the bucket.
Yes,
It's just drops in the bucket, but you're constantly dropping in and dropping
exactly.
and
I'm
dropping and dropping.
constantly
Yeah.
checking.
You're
in.
an old soul because there was a
Yeah.
lot of a lot of people didn't think like that, like the way you did at that age. What were you, 20?
Oh, I was even younger than that when
Who the fuck thought like that when they were 20?
I don't know. It was dumb.
Not many. No, but not many.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you say you were dumb, but man, look where you're at still.
Yeah.
You're right.
Like-
yeah, no, that's
You've been married for 20, I don't know,
about to be
20 something years.
20 years.
High school
Jeez,
high school sweethearts
Yeah,
at
in
that.
June, bro. June 4th will be 20 years.
Wow,
It's-
congratulations.
It's such a
bro.
rare thing. Such
Yeah,
a
it
rare,
is.
rare thing.
You're
Like
hitting
that-
2-0?
Yeah.
In how long?
In June.
What's the plan? Big
That's
party?
a, that's
Oh,
a,
no,
that's
where's
a
the 25th?
milestone. Well, the 25th is a big one, right?
So,
25th
so
is a big one.
25th.
Yeah.
But 20 to me is still big, though. That's 2
That
decades.
is pretty,
Yeah. It's a hell of a thing, man. It's like
Yeah.
it's amazing because
especially in this day and age.
I don't know
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who you are actually because you were an alien, honestly. There's not many like you.
I don't know.
You're an extraterrestrial.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Look
No,
at him get all these compliments.
it's true though.
Yeah,
it's true
yeah.
though. You know, I mean, like it just doesn't.
Well, it's 'cause a lot of people-
Your
it's-
mindset
yes.
at such a young age.
Yeah. But it's a lot of people was like, well, what really took it? What really took you there? I was like, first of all, the first things first, man, is there's a certain respect you got to have. Me and my wife in 20 years have never cussed at each other.
What?
Never. We've never
I got
cussed
a
at each
foul
other.
mouth, bro.
Yeah. And that's kind of one of the
Y'all
things I tell
cuss,
people. We
but
cuss.
not in the heat of a moment at
Yes,
each other.
not at each other.
But you know what? Let me pause you there for a second if you don't mind.
Okay.
That was one of our biggest arguments in my marriage is the way I spoke when I was upset.
Yes.
Like,
That changes an argument.
it's I didn't see it as disrespect. Now I see it differently. Now looking back on it, I'm like, I kind of get it now.
Yeah.
And at the time, I didn't get it. But like, I was so focused on the point, right,
Yes.
that I was trying to make, and like, the what happens is you lose your partner because as a woman, you know, the emotional impact of it is more important to her than your point. And the roles are completely reversed on my side. To me, the point is more important than any emotional aspect. So like, and it's like I would tell her, dude, I was like, I cuss when we're happy and good and at the bar taking shots and having a good time and everybody's fucking. I cuss then. Like, why does it matter like that I'm cussing when I'm mad?
The intent.
Yes. So I didn't get it at the time, but like now I'm seeing the opposite version where you just said that you and your wife in 20 years of marriage have never cussed at each other. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing the opposite of that. And I'm like, man, like maybe I should, no, not maybe. I definitely should have looked at it differently. I was so focused on this is the point. You know what I mean? Not so much that I was right, even though that's important to me too.
Yes.
It's important to be
right.
right.
No, I totally
it's important
get
to
it.
be right. But right or wrong, even if I was in the wrong, like this is the point. Let's set it in the middle of the table. Like this is the point, right? And it's like just wind blowing over it. Like these emotions to me mean nothing. Like this is the point. This is the black and white that we need to look at. And it's not like that to most women.
No. Okay.
And and maybe this is just my me being novice at it, but like hearing you talk. And
that's your man. That's your man brain.
He had it figured out this whole time. You know,
like, it is kind of weird because that's your man brain. Hey, that's a guy brain.
Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck this guy is.
Yeah.
He's a goddamn alien. Because like,
what are you doing in our world, bro? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
But like you had something else figured out that at a very young age.
And see
that none of us,
and I'm 40, I'm barely getting that. So it's not even about the age.
Well, it kind of is. Like he was 20.
Yeah. I mean, I would know. There's no way at 20 I would have got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a respect, man. I know it's a hard weird thing because there's a lot of ways to go about this.
And I was very disrespectful.
Yes,
you know
we all are when we're young.
This is the thing. Like my dad raised me first. Mm-hmm. And I give a lot of props to that man. Like I just gave props earlier. Like he had a different approach at being a dad that was very effective. I still rebelled. I still did my shit. And then like the second people that raised me were my friends.
Yeah.
Because I left at a very, there's people that has left the home earlier than me, but like I left at a maturity level. I left before I should have.
Yeah.
And so like I wasn't ready to take on the world on a maturity level. And I got thrown into this realm. And so, like, I got used to, like, the people teaching me my lessons, fucking my boys, fucking calling me a pussy. And me being like, you know what? You're fucking right, bro. I'm being a fucking pussy. You know what I mean? And so, like, that's the mentality I took.
Yeah.
And so, even, yes, I was being a pussy. They were 100% right. You know what I mean? And then, like, that's the way I took my lickings. That's the way it came through almost like a shit talking kind of thing. And you know what I mean? Like, so fast forward, like this is the way I am. I'm a little bit rougher with my words. I'm a little bit more against the grain.
Yeah.
And like you throw that into marriage, and it's anti. Yeah. And this, I brought this to my dad. So like I'm at a point where I know the marriage isn't going to last anymore. We haven't talked about divorce yet, but I know where it's going. And so like I talked to my dad because like I know what he sacrificed to raise me and my brother, right? So, like, I go to my dad, and I'm like, because I see myself raising my son. And I'm like, I want to give my son what my dad gave me. So that's the person I go to, right? So, like, I tell him, I'm like, you know, I can't scream sense into her. I can't softly with love talk sense into her. I just can't talk sense into her no matter which way I take. And he goes, you know what? He told me this, and it's always going to stick with me for the rest of my life. I was so focused on being right and talking sense into somebody. Like, that was my intent, and that was my tunnel vision. My dad took me out of that with one saying. He goes, you know you can be so right that you're wrong?
Mm.
When he said that, I was like, boom.
Yeah.
It was too late.
Yeah, it's almost on the same lines that you want to be right or do you want to be happy?
Yes.
You know.
So there's a way to be right, but like you got to know how to approach that. You know what I mean?
But your partner's got to understand that too, because there's a point you said earlier.
Yeah.
That you reach to the point where it's like, I'm right and this is the stance. Mm-hmm. Right. And I feel like, I'm not going to speak for my wife, but this is what I feel. Because I feel the same way with her. We reached that point where it's like we're at an impasse, but I don't see it as an impasse. I'm like, oh, that's your line. Mm-hmm. That's your line. We can meet that, but I won't cross that. Mm-hmm. I won't try to convince you in my direction because you don't think what I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but you've seen my line too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm like, you got to understand. This is the point you can we can draw this fucking argument.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like there's no getting over this. Because I'm the same way, steadfast. No, I'm right because of this.
You know what? And I want to speak to that because there's this whole thing about, I don't know if it's just guys or just me. You want to prove you're right, even if you're wrong. You're like, no, this
You gotta hold steadfast to your beliefs.
This is what I know. This is what I know.
Yeah.
But you're not seeing it. There's two different sides to this, and actually, that's all you know. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's all you know. There's actually another point to that, and if you're willing to open up and listen to the other side of that, oh shit,
Yeah.
there is more to this.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Like my dumb ass, I'm one-minded. I'm one direction or
Perspective.
however one perspective. Yeah. If you can actually open up and listen to the other side, and I've had to teach myself that because I am like that. I'm like, this is what I know. This is how it's gonna be, and this and that, whatever. But I've had to stop myself and be like, you know what? I need to listen. I need to stop, shut my mouth up, and open my ears up.
Yeah.
I've always had my eye on perspective because perspective is a motherfucker. Like, I can't remember where I read it one time, but they said, and it's a common saying, I don't know, at one point it was new to me, but it said perspective is reality. It don't matter if the sky's fucking blue, bro. You know what I mean? Like, if you were raised your whole life to think blue was purple, the sky's fucking purple. You know what I mean? Like, perspective is your reality, man. It's just like you can't take somebody's perspective, and even though you're 1,000% right, you can't discredit that. Like, you can't it's like what you were saying. She has her lane, I have my lane. You know what I mean? Like we have different perspectives, and so like, even though I know, like, my challenge was, I feel like mentally I had that dominated. Like, okay, like, that's just her perspective. That's just my perspective. Okay, so like, let me switch it up. And it's like, have you ever been like in boxing and they teach you like your stance, and like you pivot and you pivot and you pivot until you find your moment, right? Or like,
and you don't ever stand square.
You can defend. You never go backwards in a straight line. You know what I mean? Or I saw my marriage, and it's sad to say it, right? I saw my marriage as like a fucking fight. Like, okay, so I can't get through her this way. Pivot. Let's try a different perspective. Let's try a different perspective. Shit, I can't get through to her that way. Fucking flip it. Let's try it. And I've tried 100 perspectives outside of my own. And like, we can't derive back to like where the negative impact came from X situation. And so like, that's when I started talking to my dad. And I was like, look, I've tried everything. Like, I can't talk sense. I can't feel sense. I can't smell sense into her. Like, I've tried everything. Like, not just from my perspective, from multiple perspectives. Like, even trying to use her own perspective to like make her understand.
Yeah.
So like perspectives is a motherfucker. But like, hey man, like, I'm a chameleon. Let's blend into any perspective you fucking want and let's talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, I can do that. But like,
I got a word for that.
Fuck, dude. But like, when it gets to the point where like you're just dealing with somebody so fucking stubborn, that's where I just spoke on my ability to do this. Now let's talk about my inability. My inability was is like, even though my ability was to change perspectives and change the fucking footwork of it 100 different ways, my inability was like, I couldn't accept that she couldn't accept.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I know exactly what you're saying.
Like, fuck, eventually you got to accept it. You can't accept. So like, the lack of accountability on one side destroyed me, and it shouldn't have. Like shit, that's just the way she is. Like, let's.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
is that a mindset thing?
Huh?
Yeah. It's a mindset, right?
Yeah. So like,
I call it boxing a unicorn.
Yeah.
It's like
perfectly said.
You're
dude.
trying to box a unicorn.
Yeah.
It's a unicorn. Let it be a unicorn.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah.
You know, you just know that. All right, my train of thinking or my perspective.
The fuck
is
did you
different
come up
than
with
yours.
that? Did you just make that up right now?
That's
No,
fucking.
I've had that for a long.
That's legendary, right
that's
there.
That's the thing. Is it you're trying to take somebody. You're trying to box. You're like.
That's the name of this podcast.
Yeah, you're trying to train a bear.
Like, a unicorn doesn't even exist. I'm trying to box it in. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's like you're trying to take this person that you like everything about them, but you're trying to convince them to be like,
be this way.
Yes, be this way.
Yeah,
you don't want that. You want the unicorn because that's what you fell in love with. Why dude? Oh, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You're trying to box it because me and my wife.
Abraham's mind is
we
blown.
don't think. there's two different
awesome.
things. There's two different
What a great
perspectives.
term.
Yeah.
So
Great.
when she says something, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't have to make sense to me. It makes sense to her. Okay, I'll back you up, even if you're fucking wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, all right, are we together? Or are we together? She's like, we're together. All right, we're gonna die on this horse together.
Yeah.
Even though you're fucking wrong, I'm gonna look stupid with you. You know,
I love it.
Because that's
Fuck, I love it.
Because it's just the way it is. Like,
Yeah.
fuck it, we're gonna go down together. Because it's first of all, I know you're wrong, but it's funny as fuck to me. You know, but
We're going down.
Yeah, I don't have to answer to nobody else. You know,
True.
I don't have to answer to nobody. The only person I have
Exactly.
to answer to you, because that's like one of that perspective, right?
Dude, that's awesome perspective.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Because you're like, you know what? You know what? You're the only person I'm accountable to.
Yeah, that's it. You're the only one I'm accountable.
Nobody
to.
else matters.
Yeah.
Nobody, yeah, exactly. No one else matters.
Damn. Mind blown again.
Yeah,
You're
'Cause I'm
right.
like, if-
You're right.
Yeah. Do I love you? How far in this relationship are we in? Are we 100% in? We're 100% in. Fuck it. Let's ride or die.
Let's do it.
Damn, dude.
Let's ride or die. Whether we look fucking
Oscar
stupid,
the philosopher.
we're gonna look stupid together.
Pour him
Man,
another
bro,
drink.
fuck Dr. Phil. It's
Pour him
all-
another drink. Let's go.
Fuck
You
Dr.
earned it,
Phil.
baby. Dr.
It's
Phil
all
ain't got
about what
shit.
he do.
I think the more drunker he gets, the more wiser he
No,
gets.
what's-
Just keep those smelling salts.
It
Confucius
ain't
said-
to my power.
Confucius said.
Confucius said, I never said half those things. I don't know, man. It's just after, like I said, my mentality now hasn't changed in 20 years.
Like a math
Damn,
equation.
dude.
It hasn't. I let you be whoever
you're-
you want to be. Like, there's no way I would sit here and be like, Abraham, can you stop doing this? Can you stop? Why would I do that? This is exactly why I asked you to be a co-host of this show.
Because
Because it's you. You're you.
Yeah.
You're you. What you're? I was like, if
You're
there
what
was
he
something
signed
I've
up
been,
for.
if there was something,
but you don't
about you I
bullshit
didn't
me
like,
though either.
I don't
Like,
bullshit you.
Me and him, I think one of the reasons why we click so much is because I'm full of shit sometimes. I'm full of shit. But he doesn't put up with that. Like he'll let me know,
Yes.
like, you're full of fucking shit, bro.
Yeah,
I love it, dude.
But you have to.
Yeah.
Because
You don't get friends like that very often.
no.
And when you do, you
that's
better
very
hang on
rare.
to them.
That's very rare. Yeah. Yeah.
so when you do find them, like, you want somebody, because the worst thing you can do to somebody is let them live in their own reality. Okay,
Yes, man.
Because it's all of a
That's
sudden.
what I mentioned earlier. I can't stand enablers, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
you can't, because
I
I'm
get
like,
away from them.
I can't sit here and let you gloat whatever it is, the bullshit you're gloating.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to sit here and completely disagree with you, but I'm like, hold on a second.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
This is not. We don't all follow the same path. I'm glad it's working for you, or it's not. We can all see that it's not. You know, but let's hold on. Let's throw you back down. Let's get you on the same playing field. Whether you take any advice or you don't take any advice, that's completely up to you.
And
Is
we can
that
be
why you
cool
asked
either
me
way.
to be the co-host so you can tone me back down?
So I was like, whoa, bring this guy back down to
Shut the
reality.
fuck up, bro.
But at the end of the day, man, it's relationships are hard. But a lot of people, of course, this is what me and my wife, and I feel like we're the same thing. It's all compromise, man.
Yeah.
We don't have to both be right. We don't.
Went out.
This one? Okay, I got it.
One or the other. We don't have to be right. You know, we just have to be understanding.
Yeah.
That's it. At the end of the day, that's it. I feel this is my wife. She's like, it seems like you can calm the wildest horse. It's like, it's not that. It's just, you gotta let the fucking horse be a horse.
If your wife says that, that says volumes about you, bro. Like, that's for a woman to say you can calm something down like that. Like, wow. Like, that shows your incredible patience with stuff, man. Like, and I've just never been a patient dude. Like,
Oh, but hold on a second. Let me get to that.
fuck.
Okay.
My patience is
Yes.
like my fucking downfall, bro.
But sometimes you gotta learn when to walk away.
Yeah.
You have to learn when
Pick your battles.
pick your battles. And it's like, well, this is a lot that
And I
you're
want to
not
fight
ready for.
every motherfucking battle.
Exactly. And there's a lot of people that do. It's like, no.
Yeah.
There's some times where I'm just like, I'll be sitting here and I don't hold my tongue.
What's that term? Micromanaging?
Yeah.
I hate to say that that's me. I hate it because I don't feel like I am.
That's
but
me.
that's me feeling like I don't know like I am. But like my 10 closest friends can tell me from the outside looking in, like, yeah, bro, you micromanage every the fuck out of life.
Yeah.
And it's like, but I don't see it as micromanaging, even though I know I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Because everybody in my life has told me that I'm like that. So I know I'm wrong. But it's because I don't see it that way. What I see is like I have low patience. I will admit that.
Same here.
I have zero patience. And so like the tolerance for stupidity in my book is like
Yeah.
non-existent, bro. So like if I see like, I've always said this to like my friends, ex relationships. I've always said this. You take the most complicated fucking problem between two different people. Mm-hmm. It don't matter how hairy, how complicated, how many thousands of perspectives you throw in it. Boil it and boil it and boil it and boil it down to its core. It's a simple solution.
Oh yeah.
It's simple. You know what I mean?
Everything.
And so like I've trained my mind that way for so long since I was a kid. Like I see a problem and it's just like, you two have a fucking problem. I hear a side and I hear this side and I like my mind just beelines towards that center core.
Yes.
So fucking fast that like I have a tendency of like making people feel stupid. Mm-hmm. And instead of that being a positive thing for like problem solving, like I'm known as a fucking, I'm a douchebag to these guys now. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like shit. Hey bro, like I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me. And so like I say all that to say this. Let's get back to what you were talking about. Like, fuck bro, like if I could just learn to like let people be who they gotta be. Mm-hmm. Whether I see it as wrong or right, like I think my life would be so much better, bro.
Oh yeah,
you know
it definitely
I mean? Like,
would.
And like you could guide people better that way.
Oh yeah,
like because you're not. I'm more abrasive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
see, and I don't see myself as a sinner guy.
Yeah,
there's different ways to skin a cat.
There's different ways to skin a cat.
I'm like, okay,
you know what I mean?
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong, and I'm not gonna get in the middle because there's 3 sides to every story. Mm-hmm. Your side, his side, and the truth.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know?
No, you're right.
But the fact of the matter is that when it comes to doing shit, I'm like, there's more ways to skin a cat. There's more than one way to skin a cat.
My rebuttal to that is when you skin a cat, it's still a fucking cat.
It's still a cat. Yes.
But so like, I've ran into this problem so many fucking times in my life. Like, okay, so I remember I mentioned my divorce multiple times. People are probably getting tired of fucking hearing about it. But like, we ended up trying therapy there at the end. So like, she already split. We already filed for divorce. We have the temp orders, and like we hate each other, right? And so like we were still able, like a couple months after the temp orders, to like decide like, you know what, let's try therapy. And so we tried it, man, bro. I walked into that therapy session, I might be wrong for this, but I saw the therapist, and it was a woman, and I'm like, fuck, here we go. You know what I mean? Like I'm in a room with 2 different women. Here we go. And I'm going to fucking therapy, bro. Yeah. Like, my therapist is a woman, and the ex-wife that fucking despises me is a fucking woman. And, like, I had to stop myself. Like, stop. Like, give it a chance. You know what I mean? Like, this could still be a very positive thing. Mm-hmm. And so I went through, like, 3 or 4 different sessions with this therapist, and I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt. And it totally turned into exactly what I thought. Yeah. It was 2 women against me. Yeah. And so like I've always tried to be like as neutral as I possibly can. And so like I'm hearing the therapist, but like when I'm trying to be when I'm trying to exercise compromise, and it always just turns into me being the fucking asshole. You get tired of that for a little second.
But that therapist is already biased.
Yes. So like there came a point where like, and I'll never forget it. There came a point where like, I can't remember what it was, but the ex mentioned some like a specific fight that we had, and then the therapist asked, okay, so like we're getting away from right and wrong, which is. At this point, I think it's healthy for me because I'm such a stickler for black and white.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I'm like, okay, let's understand different perspectives here. I'm game. Let's do this. And she starts explaining to the therapist, like, what her problem was with this argument that we had. And she goes, and how did that make you feel? And she explained it to the therapist. And they had this whole little talk, like, back and forth between them, and I'm watching. And so then she directs her attention towards me. And she's like, Brandy said that this made her feel like this and like this and like this and like this. I'm like, yeah, I heard her. And she goes, okay, you heard her. So like,
are you listening?
Dude, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you know, but, and I started to like explain myself, and that was the wrong move. And she goes, no, you're telling me why you did what you did. She goes, but you're not hearing how you made her feel. And I'm like, I gave it a second chance. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, Yeah. I hear, I belittled her, and she felt like I was condescending, and I hear that, like, she was. I go, but my intent. So I went from explaining the point to my intent, and she goes, no. She goes, now you're explaining your intent. You're not understanding how you made her feel, and I'm like, let's take a third stab at this. Okay, let me rearrange my thoughts. I'm like, okay. And like, I couldn't win for losing, bro. Like, I tried all different ways. So I'm like, hold on, pause. Like, I'm getting run over here. It's time to exercise some control over the situation. So I'm like, listen, Doc. I'm like, there's causality. There's every action has an opposite and equal reaction, right? She goes, yeah. I'm like, okay. So like, you want me to understand how Brandy feels, but like we're taking A out of the equation. There's A to Z, and you're taking the first domino out of the equation. You just want me to understand Z, how we got here. I go, and I understand that. I understand she had a negative reaction. I understand how that made her feel. I understand that. I go, but what good does that do? And so at that point, I don't know why, I zeroed in on her finger. She had a wedding band on. And I look at her, I'm like, I see that you're married. I go, let me ask you something. I go, if your husband cheated on you once and he asked for forgiveness because he feels sorry, like Brandy feels belittled, I go, are you going to forgive him? She goes, well, she was like this Christian woman. It was like a Christian kind of therapy. And she goes, the sanctity of marriage, and then, if he really feels sorry and he changes, okay. He cheats on you a second time. How would that make, like, and he feels sorry. You have to take into consideration how he feels, right? Like, that's how he feels. He feels sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. But the causality is there, though. Like the he feels sorry for what he did, but the causality is what he did. How he feels is the byproduct of that.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. Okay. So like, I'm trying to get back to the point. So I'm like dropping crumbs to get her to my point, and I'm like, repeat that same process 70 times. I'm like, does it still matter how he feels? And she's just like,
don't back me into a corner.
Yeah, like she's just like, and then like she didn't know how to explain herself. She was trying to find a way where I was wrong, and she looks at Brandy. She goes, "Well, now I see how he feels." I'm like, man, this isn't fucking therapy. You know what I mean? Like, right there, I was done with it, bro. Yeah. I was done with it. So like, yes, bro. Like let's get back to perspective.
That's why I always found therapy bullshit.
Yeah. Because all it is bringing another person into your fucking problem.
Well, not only that though,
that's all it is.
Yeah, that's all it is. Like,
whether it's a guy or a girl, you're even though they claim not to be biased, you're already bringing in biases because she can't relate to you.
Yeah.
To your feelings.
Yeah.
And if we bring a guy in, a guy's not gonna be able to relate to, because if you went to a guy therapist, he would see your point.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, we're being emotional here. He's being analytical.
Have you ever watched The Sopranos?
Yes.
It's fucking amazing. And the whole thing is this guy, he's a fucking mob boss. Mm-hmm. And it starts out, and it's what the whole show is. He's going to go see a therapist. Yeah. Because he's having fucking panic attacks. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm a fucking killer.
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking mob boss. Yeah. I got people underneath me. Nobody can know that I'm seeing a therapist.
Yeah. That vulnerability shouldn't exist in my world.
Yeah, absolutely not. And that's what's so good about the show. But when it comes down to it, she doesn't really have, and he even tells her, he's like, I just need somebody to unload. Really. He was like, you have nothing. It doesn't matter what the fuck you say. Like, I'm just unloading. Like, he tries to fuck her a couple of times. You know what I mean? Like, there's like this whole fucking thing. Yeah. But he kind of like downplays the whole thing of her being a psychologist. And it's like, you're just somebody I'm just unloading on. Yeah. That's basically, that's all it is. Yeah.
You ever done any self-reflection by yourself?
Plenty of times.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever
that's
feel
rough,
like
actually?
It's extremely rough. And I'm a total fan of people doing that, and of course, sometimes you can't really get to the root cause because you get into your own way. No, I'm right because of this. Yeah. Okay. The problem I have is that when people do self-reflect and they find out that, hey, this is my problem. But instead of fixing that problem, they make it their identity.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, hold on a second. Yeah. Now you expect everybody to tiptoe and cater around the fact that you've self-diagnosed you're this. But instead of fixing your problem, it manifests into your whole fucking identity. And it's kind of getting to some of the
your virtue signaling.
Is that what it's called? Virtue.
Your
signaling?
virtue because now it's your virtue.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
this is, and you make it like a moral thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I'm my own victim. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So like that man, dude, that even goes in, that stretches out as far as into politics too. So like
It does.
It's sad because it signals a response, right? It signals a response not just from yourself. Now you've convinced your own brain to believe that way, but it signals a response. But because it signals an internal response, now you're signaling the responses from your peers around you.
Yes.
So that's
that
why I call it.
confirmation,
That's why I call it virtue signaling, because that's what's happening. Like you're creating an emotional response.
Yes.
Because it's morally correct, right? But when you boil it all down in the real world, in real time, actions and consequences, like what are you really doing? What are you really accomplishing with that?
Yes.
So like to me, like I see what you're saying. People do that all the time, and so
It's so fucking annoying.
I told my ex, man, because like, okay, so she lost. I'm not trying to bash her, right? But like her first marriage, she lost custody of her 3 kids, right? So like when I came along, I bought into the whole bit because it was signaling an emotional response. I'm like, oh shit. And she told me the whole sad sob story, and I'm like, I'm the shoulder to cry on. And normally I'm not really like that, but like it really pulled me into action.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit. Like we were only dating like 3 months. It wasn't even that serious. And I found myself like paying for her fucking divorce lawyer for her first ex-husband, right? Then it turns into a relationship. We start getting more and more serious. Fast forward like a year and a half later, right? I hear this fucking story again and again and again, and I've heard it. And it's like, so I look at it, and I'm processing it with my own mind outside of like that initial emotional response. Like now my common sense is kicking in because I've had enough time to like wrap my head around it. And I'm like, okay, you only get your kids every other fucking weekend. Okay. And they, like, it's kicking your ass that you lost custody and you're not there for your kids like you want to be. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? No. And so like, I'm formulating solutions in my mind.
Don't want to hear the solutions.
They don't want to hear the solutions. And that's what drives me fucking buck wild. I'm like, look, I was like, you get your kids every other weekend, but like, hey dude, she didn't, at the time she didn't start work till like 3:00 or whatever. She like pretty much had her whole morning and beginning of the afternoon free. I'm like, go have lunch with your kids. You can go to school. They all have lunches at different hours, and they all have lunches before your shift starts. Mm-hmm. I go, you can see all 3 of your kids 5 times a week and then still get them every other weekend. You've just doubled your time with your kids just by spending lunch with them. Right?
Yeah.
But she never did that.
Yeah, they don't see that because they see that they made that their victimhood their whole identity.
They've made it their identity.
So every time they talk to somebody new, it's like, here's the story again. This is the reason why.
Yeah.
And I'm like, stop. You clearly see, because you could regurgitate it over and over again.
Yeah.
But what are you doing to change it?
Yeah.
What are you doing to fix your issue here?
So like,
you're not.
In La La Land, right? Mm-hmm. Where like, I'm the victim of myself. I'm the victim of my own actions. Mm-hmm. Now I have I can see what you're saying by identity, but I call it like a moral.
Yeah, I get you.
Like a moral belief.
Yes.
Right? Like I have now sold myself on my own moral belief of me being my own victim. And now that I've transmitted that into an emotion, now people have something to bite into.
Yes.
So now they can bite into that emotion.
I'm on the high ground.
And because I'm virtuous, because of my own victimhood, you are now virtuous by association, because now we all believe in the same moral.
Yes.
Now we all believe in the same moral, right? And we're all on the same team. But there's never a fucking solution.
No.
There's
always a reassurance from the group.
Yes.
You go, girl.
Yeah.
You got this.
So,
and I'm like, shut the fuck
I
up.
spent my whole life in construction, but there was a point there where like I became a car salesman for a little while.
Oh shit!
And so like,
Gross.
yeah, gross, right? I was disgusted by it too, and like, there's a whole reason why I quit that. But if we can get into that, we'll get into that later. But like, for the most part, I was getting my learning curve down on how to sell a car. So like, they give you all these classes, and they teach you all this shit, and eventually, it's the same shit. Like I'm doing them a favor by ripping them off.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I learned all the shady tricks and all the shady approaches and like why these people should buy this car. And like, so like I learned it and like I connected the two. So like fast forward back to my marriage. I would always tell her, I'm like, dude, and it was a famous line. She probably has heard it from me 1,000 times. I'm like you're not selling me on your bullshit, but you're selling yourself. Yeah. You're your own, I would say this, you're your own best saleswoman. Like, you're pitching the Kool-Aid and you're also drinking it. You know, is what I was trying to say. I'm like, dude, like you're not going to put me on that moral high horse with you because we're going nowhere. We're going nowhere. It's not, you know what I mean? Like you can sell yourself on it and you can believe it all you fucking want. I was like, but here we are 2 years later and what have you accomplished? You see what I'm saying? So like, you believe it. Yeah. And you've convinced yourself of it, but bro, like you have a motherfucker here standing right in front of you telling you how, like, look at the results. Mm-hmm. Look at the results. You know what I mean? Like you can shoot me all the sales pitches that you want on your moral high ground, on your signal virtualing, on like, let's share this emotion together. But like, it's just an emotion, bro. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like
how many times I got to relive this?
Now your kids have grown. Fast forward even more. Now the kids are older. You know what I mean? Now her kid is like 22, and she has an 18 and no, he's probably 19 now. A 19 and a 17-year-old. 17, 19, and 22, and like it's just the same. It's the same thing. Like your kids grew up without you. Your kids grew up without you. They never had your guidance, all because you were a victim. If I would have shared in that emotion with you, I would have been just as wrong.
Yep. And that right there is a problem that I have. Mm-hmm. It's like, we're still living in your victimhood.
Yeah.
Can we move past this already? Mm-hmm. Can we fucking transition to the next fucking, I guess, level of fucking life? Can we get past this shit already?
Earlier when you said,
well, like, it's a matter of a change of mentality. All of it.
Well, no, it all the way through.
It's like it's a change of mentality, like on how you deal with things and how everything affects you and your response to it. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, but it's hard to do that when you're always repeating the same story and you're getting the affirmations.
Yeah,
how maybe you are.
But it's the mentality.
Yeah,
you've got to figure out a way to readjust. You've got to constantly like, okay, this isn't going the way I want it. It's time to readjust because if you man, it
goes back to the fight I was telling you about. You switch your stance and you switch your stance and you switch your stance.
Yeah. Well, it's the classic. What is the classic thing they say? If you don't, it's like, oh god damn, it's in everything you fucking see. Changing. What is it? Oh my god. Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, I want something to be different, but you're not doing anything fucking different. Mm-hmm. So what the fuck do you think is going to happen?
Yeah.
The same pattern.
What is that? Insanity too, right?
Insanity's, that's part of insanity.
Like Einstein said it right. Like you keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result is considered
insanity.
Yeah.
Was that it? Was that Einstein?
I think it was Einstein. I might be wrong. That's where the TV screen.
That's where the fact checking would help.
Man.
But no, I think it was Einstein though. I'm like 90% sure. Or 90%, repeating the same behavior, expecting a different result is considered insanity.
We get deep every time.
It gets deep.
Except for last time. Last time we were just fucked up on smelling salts, But I like when we have different perspectives in here. That's why I love having you in here because we can get some serious talk.
I appreciate it, bro.
Sometimes and you need it. You need it from your guests. You need it to that reset, the nice little perspective. When I know you said it was like, I don't know how good of a guest I'm going to be, dude. But I'm like, no, you're good. Because,
bro, whenever my wife listens to all of them.
Yeah.
And she was like, I like whenever y'all are talking relationship talk. She was like, because I can relate. It makes sense. And like, I hear y'all and I get different perspectives. You know, some people don't like the serious talk. We've had other guests on here. They're like, oh, man, y'all got serious on that one. Like they just want to hear the funny shit.
They want to clown and have a good time.
Totally
Which
fine.
is fine.
And
But
that's
hey,
cool.
man, but that's us though. We have some that are this way. We have some that are that
I
way.
like laughing and having a good time. Like we can hang in here and bullshit, but
Hey, man, it's
That's
all
very
right
nice
to get
one.
real. It's all right to get real.
the very first time, like y'all told me about the podcast, you I think you said the term. It's like campfire or wood fire or whatever fire talk, like around the fire. I'm like, shit, I'm down for that. You know, let's just see what it turns into. That's fucking cool. Like,
It's therapy.
bro, it is, man. Like, it's fucking cool. Like, if you, I could be on here with a guest that was just wanting to bullshit the whole fucking time. I'm good at that too. Let's get fucking drunk and have some fun, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, when the alcohol comes out and
Oh,
you're
dude.
talking about real shit.
We get talking about real shit though. That's all right with me though.
Yeah, I've had, I don't know how many we're sitting around.
That rabbit hole right there.
That's good.
Oh
That's
my
good
god,
shit.
that's some good shit. Because we
Yeah.
went down a rabbit hole with that one.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I
I
didn't
like
reckon.
it.
I didn't even put the two together. We went down a rabbit hole because we were drinking a rabbit hole.
Hungry. And the other one. But man, Rock, thanks for coming on.
Man, yeah,
Man,
for real,
thank you for
brother.
having me, guys, man. It's always fun with you guys, dude. For
Yeah,
Thank you.
dude. Like I said, I'm glad we got the way we got.
yeah, man.
Yes. I hope you'll come back.
For real.
Can we keep
anytime,
you
man.
coming back, you
Yeah,
know what I
man.
mean?
Anytime. Y'all, anytime.
I gotta
y'all-
set up a bench outside so we can smoke some cigars.
I know.
We're trying to. I'm trying. Yeah.
Back the truck up. Just
Right,
smoke
bro.
some cigars in the back of the truck. That'd be all right
I'm
too.
gonna set up something mobile, man. We gotta get something mobile going.
I know, dude.
Fuck, that would be cool. Hey, man,
Dang, a mobile
broadcasting
podcast?
from different locations, dude.
That means you
Holy
could do the
shit.
community event.
If we had like an Airstream,
That's true.
we
Yeah.
can pick around. We're doing a podcast and it's a cigar shop. Oh,
Oh, yeah, with a couch
oh,
and the camera.
Hey.
So what made you want to come on our podcast?
What color is the couch? Is it a black couch?
It's a black leather couch.
Black
Yeah.
leather couch. Oh,
I like the
my
idea
God.
that y'all had with like a bartender in the back.
Yeah.
I'm just
Y'all
here
can
working
do
the
like different
cameras.
shit too. Like,
That would be fun.
y'all can do like a barbershop edition and invite barbers on while y'all are talking, people getting their haircut. I don't know why I like that.
That would
Yeah,
be
we
cool.
thought about that. We thought
Or
about that.
we
with
thought
the
about
tattoo artists.
tattoo artists. We were gonna do that with tattoo
oh,
artists.
fuck
Yeah.
there you go. See, like different.
We were gonna set up a tattoo
professions.
like little spot, you know, like a
Yeah.
chair, and like have people come in. But we kind of got a little.
'Cause
I
even-
think we overthought it.
Yeah, we
Actually,
did.
We
I don't
overthought it.
have a single tattoo, but like I've talked to a lot of people that call it
No
tattoo
tattoos?
therapy. Not a single one. But like I've been friends with numerous tattoo artists over the years, and so like I've got to hang out at their shops and see what they go through. Like it's cool. Like it's to me, it's just like getting your haircut. Like you're sitting there having a conversation with somebody who's putting a permanent piece of ink on your body.
Yeah.
I don't think
You know
I've
what I
ever
mean?
met a biker that didn't
It's
have a
fucking
tattoo.
cool, huh?
You're
Oh, yeah, I was a
You're the
biker for a
first
long
biker
time.
that I know that doesn't
And I
have
don't
a tattoo.
single tattoo.
Shit.
I think I have commitment issues.
Oh man, it's just
We'll have to unravel that one
just
on the next one.
compromise.
yeah, yeah.
Sometime. That's actually a
Tiffany,
pretty good
thank
idea.
you so much for your input because it definitely helps.
Amen.
Did it?
It was
Amen.
wrong, but it was. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
That's
kidding.
all I'm good for. Huh?
Damn.
Shit.
Was it on Married with Children? The No Ma'am.
Oh, that was our group, right?
Yep.
No, ma'am.
But
Dang.
shit, man. I guess. Hey, again, thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
and,
man. No, thank you for having me, dude.
we'll fucking.
It's always a
like I
good
said,
time.
we got 3 at random next week.
3 at random. So there's another local podcast in town. They're actually doing all right. So
Oh,
we're gonna give them a shot.
my buddy Dante's on that one.
Yeah, Dante.
Yeah,
Dante
I grew
what?
up with him.
Torres.
Oh, okay, so he's been liking a lot of.
It's
our
my
shit.
cousin.
Is it really?
No.
Oh, y'all are really?
No,
Oh, okay. I was
no,
about to say, man, his sense of humor is a little bit different, dude. I like hanging out with that guy.
Yeah.
He's cool. He's gonna be they're gonna be on this show.
Yes.
Yeah.
they'll
Man,
be
y'all are
next
gonna have a
week.
good time with those guys. Well, I don't know about the other because there's 3 of them, right?
There's 3 of them. Yeah.
Apparently, we're. I think we're getting all 3. So.
Okay, so like, I've seen like clips of their show, and I'll say this: I think they have like similar kinds of a sense of humors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they're anything like Dante, bro, y'all are in for a good
For a
time.
treat,
bro.
right?
It'd be
Yeah,
fun.
dude.
Fucking I love
That
it.
guy's a little rough around the edges, but he's fucking like the way he delivers his points is a little bit different.
Okay.
He's cool, bro. He's cool. I think y'all have a good time with
Different perspectives. I'll take
Yeah.
it all.
Oh
Shit,
yeah.
man. Yeah.
They're a little rough and tough though.
all
Fucking
good.
love it. I'll
It's all
take it.
good.
We got enough room for him.
Hell
enough
yeah,
whiskey.
dude. I'm gonna watch that podcast for sure.
Yeah, fucking A. Well, shit, guys. Thanks for checking us out. And we'll see you next week.
Hell yeah.
What to do, baby?
What to do?
What it do?